quick. Like, it's actually so hard to get there before it is even finished. So I'm curious. Yeah, I'm not quite sure if he actually will, because I don't think he just has the units right now. Like, Stim sure will be finishing, but he doesn't really have anything to attack with. That's the thing. Like I was saying, you don't have units when you go for CC first. He went for the super fast tech as the follow-up, so that means he gets a really fast Stim, sure, I guess, but it's like, you're gonna stim 6 Marines, and that's basically all. That's your thing.
Yeah, right. It is gonna be after the storm here. So, okay, it is what it is. The tanks are coming out though. Combat shields is on the way as well. Like we said though, there is no third base here for Cure, so he's gonna be super aggressive here when he does get the amount of units that he needs. This medevac just flying in and out, being annoying. See if he can pick off any probes. Okay, that's nice little damage there. 3 probes, maybe in a 4th for 2 Marines. I'll take that trade any day, and he's pulling the boys!
This is not what I was expecting. I mean, you go CC first into a boy pull, that's quite something. The fact that it's going to be against the Storm opener, with Storm finished as well. He knew Storm is here. He got feedbacked by a High Templar. He's not thinking that this is Colossus or something. He knows that this is a Storm opener. First one going down on the SCVs, a decent pre-split, but there's no combat shield on these Marines either, so take note of that. A singular medevac here, a blink forward into double tank will kill one of them. A nice move from Zoun.
Yeah, there's so many SCVs here. They're actually going to go and fight the probes. Worker versus worker action here at the third base. Oh, the Mineral Walker's sick. Gonna get this around on these probes. This is so good. Meanwhile, the blink does come in on these tanks. I don't feel like he has... Okay, with the storm, that's such a big storm on the Marines. Zoun jumping in here, going to pick off what he can. The second tank goes down. And Zoun looking to get a cleanup here. The SCVs are nowhere to be seen right now.
I mean,
they're still fighting those probes up at the third. I think they've all died. Oh, they're still alive. He really needed those in the fight.
Yeah, that's actually wild. He just sent them over to the third. It was like, go ahead, guys, try your best. And then he just didn't have them for the attack. He also didn't have that medevac with the Cyclone and a few extra Marines either. This is just flat on arrival. I mean, Cure, I don't know exactly what he was trying to go for here, knowing it was going to be a storm opener. And the fact that all of the SCVs were off doing their own thing, yeah, I don't know. This just really did not work for Cure whatsoever.
Yeah, that was... I liked the decision in the beginning when he was killing the probes, because he had so many SCVs, right? Like, he got a decent amount, but he had to bring them back, because the Stalkers are going to blink in at some point, and you need those SCVs there to body block, get in the way, add a little bit of DPS, but, you know, and just be a meat shield as well, soak up some shots. But without them, the Protoss army just kind of ripped through all of that bio. The Storms were excellent, and, yeah, Zoun just in too much of a good position here. Cure forced to GG.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to try to go for a second try a little bit later, because he did kind of keep some SCVs alive. He didn't have like 0 at home. He had
just
like
under
30 or so.
Right? But once you send all those SCVs,
I mean, like,
if you don't get the damage you need, you're kind of cooked, right?
Yeah, no, I just felt it just looked like, yeah, he was like, oh, I'm going to do the Terran thing where I have mules and 30 SCVs. Like, I can technically go for round 2, but yeah, I think you're realizing like 20 seconds later is like, screw this.
He could have just pulled the last 30 SCVs and tried it again, but yeah, Cure's economy was nowhere near as good as Zoun's, obviously, after the failed attack. Zoun defends and is now up 2-1 in this series.
It is 2-1, right?
No, it's 3-1.
Is it 3-1?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's 3-1.
I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah,
sorry.
so was I. Sorry, I said 2-1 and I was like, no, wait, Zoun won the last game. Yeah, so we are here 3-1. The first set of the day does go to Zoun. What a strong performance by him.
Yeah, no, that was just completely clinical. All of those games, completely clinical. It was just, you know, game after game, very quick, no crazy long macro games or anything. Just each player just coming out with a very decisive attack, just going right on in. And honestly, I don't know, that was just kind of unexpected from Zoun. I wasn't actually expecting him to come out that hard. I thought that Cure would put up a bit more of a fight, considering the fact that he did so well against Creator. I mean, SHIN was a Zerg player, but still, he blasted SHIN 3-0. Right. It felt like Cure was really on his game to just kind of go forward into the finals at this point. But yeah, Zoun really put it up to him.
Yeah, we talked about favorites, and I actually mentioned all the other players except Zoun. and then he ends up showing up looking so strong today. I was really impressed by his defense in this game. Defense makes championships, guys. Beautiful play from Zoun. Yeah, he will move on to the winners final, where he will play the winner of our next series, which is going to be Classic versus Maru.
Oh yeah, I'm very excited for that one. And I'm excited for you and to see you on our YouTube. I would love to see you commenting over there. Go ahead, take a look, go follow us, go subscribe, whatever it's called. We want to try and get the YouTube algorithm.
It's called subscribe.
Yeah. We want to get the YouTube algorithm pumping. So yeah, we got all the VODs coming up over there. We keep it at a nice length so that way you can watch everything at your leisure. If you're busy with work, school, all your stuff, taking care of kids, whatever's going on. So yeah, we would love it if you guys can just go ahead and subscribe over there. It would be super sick. But we will be going into our break for now and be returning with the next match, which is going to be Classic versus Maru. Don't miss it. Some more RSL coming up.
Go inside. Go inside. No! 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 Ah! Oh! Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Oh, God! Ah! Oh, my God. Oh! Oh!
Welcome back, everybody, to the RSL semifinals, upper bracket semifinals, I should say. We're going to be going into our second match of the day. The first one was pretty quick, to be honest. Not too much happening. It was a couple of very decisive games between both Cure and Zaun. Zaun coming with a nice 3-1 victory, and so now we're going to be going into Maru versus Classic, which I think is going to be the highlight series of the day. I'm very excited for this one. Very curious to see how these two play out. They have not really matched versus each other much since, I think you said, DreamHack Dallas it was, so that was even before this new meta came out with the fast storm and everything. So I really want to see how Maru actually plays against Classic specifically, since he's kind of the one that pioneered it. It seemed like in the group stage he was pretty keen on going for the mech stuff too, so
right.
Perhaps he might bring that back out as well.
Yeah, Maru actually has a 75% win rate in this matchup right here, but Classic has leveled up so much recently, and with the changes in the meta, I think he looks super strong right now. Like you said, he did lose to Maru at Dallas DreamHack. He did lose in the GSL this year, but I think he's kind of reinvented his game this year, and I think he's going to have a really good shot in this series. I don't think the games are going to look similar to the first series of the day. I think we'll see some longer games. Hopefully, we'll see some longer games. I think Cure managed to get a 30C in just one of those games, and then it promptly died right afterwards to a time-in. So I'm hoping to see some more macro, some different styles coming out of here. We know how Classic likes to play. He likes to get Storm and sit back and let the Terran come to him and just get that insane economy. That's the style he's known for. We'll have to see if that is going to be on the cards here as we load into map number 1 on Ultra Love.
Yeah, Classic really does love to go for just the more passive styles, just waiting to engulf anything that really comes his way, like you're mentioning. He's not really one that goes for any of these 4-gate blink switch-ups as often, I would say. Definitely not for that. Definitely not going to do that 2-gate build that Sound's been throwing out every now and then. Definitely not going to see that on the cards, I don't think. But yeah, I don't know. I'm expecting these games to be a little bit longer, but to be fair, that is also hinging on the fact that hinging on the assumption that Maru doesn't try to just all-in Classic as well. So that's always a possibility here. So we'll see.
Yeah, I feel like we know how Classic's going to play this series. But Maru, on the other hand, is a complete wildcard, right? Like, he can do really aggressive games. He can play the late game like no one else. Like, he can kind of play a variety of styles, and I feel like it's going to be him setting the pace in this series, bringing out some different builds, hopefully, and probably taking the fight to Classic. Right now, we just got your standard Reaper opener. Nexus going down, Core on the way for Classic here. Dude, I'm getting excited for this series. These players are both so good, man.
Yes, it's really cool to see Maru even just playing, of course. He was absent in the first season, so to have him actually here playing in season number 2 is great to see. He's a favorite, of course, to win the whole thing, but of course, Classic. This is essentially, this could be like the finals, man.
This
like
could be grand finals right now, guys. But it's not.
It's not.
It
But
could be, though.
Maybe later.
In my mind, this is grand finals.
Perhaps
whoever
next
wins
week it
this
will.
takes it all.
Let's rip out the trophy right now. Let's do it.
No,
End it right here. Stop the count.
Stop the
Whoever
seal.
wins this is the winner of season 2.
Yeah, there is that lower bracket, of course, so whoever loses here will move to the lower bracket and have another chance to fight. But being in Grands on the winner's side gives you a huge advantage here in our new format.
True.
You do have to win 2 series in a row as the loser. I believe it's a best of 7 followed by a best of 3. So that's obviously way more difficult than winning just the 1 series, which is your prize for getting to Grands through the winner's bracket. This Reaper is going to come in here, see there is a base, and then leave as the Stalker shoos him away. And the Twilight is going down on the back of this.
That's about all you can really ever hope to see as a Reaper in the early game TVP.
Right.
It feels like
Oh, he has a base. Okay, cool.
Well, dang, I should have expected that. Damn, why did I make this unit?
Unless it's Clem's Reaper and then it kills like 3 probes somehow. But yeah, the CC actually being made on the high ground here.
Yeah, it looks like he went for, I wasn't paying close enough attention. I was joking with Sturgeon over here, but I think it looks like it was a double gas opener into a, like with a one base wall off. So then you go for the CC on the high ground as well, just to mind game a little bit and also just to keep it all nice and safe. So we'll be able to put that down pretty quickly anyways, but does have some of these Widow Mines out. We'll be able to drop them with the medevac coming across as well. Just at a slightly different timing, going for the double gas opener itself. So, yeah, we'll see if Classic's prepared for this. Generally, Protosses are. I honestly feel like I can't even think of the last time I saw a ridiculous mine shot on a mineral line. In one of these,
not
like,
with the
just
first drop,
yeah,
right?
like it's been so long. Protosses are just so good at dealing with this now. It just really seems like it never does anything in any game except my own.
You poor pros players having to deal with a Widow Mine drop every single game at like 4 minutes. What a nightmare. But that is the meta. That is the world we live in, guys. The Medac flying in. He's actually bringing Marines as well over here. There is 1 sentry in a Stalker. Oh, he's going to try and target it down. Wow, he goes for it. Humongous courage on the
Is that what you're going for? Is that what was in your brain,
that's what I
Steve?
want to say. Lots of courage from Classic being shown there. Gonna actually target down that Widow Mine with the probes. Only 2 going down.
Only
I had
2,
to think of
huh?
it. I couldn't think of a different word. I was like, oh, what else? I said courage. Yeah, very courageous there.
Oh, yes. Definitely so much courage there from Classic for sure. I wonder where he got the courage. I wonder where it's stemming from.
We'll never know.
The fact that he pulled that was actually crazy. Like, going for the surround with probes is so risky.
Yeah.
The perfect surround on it was great, too. So, yeah, perfect defense yet again from the Protoss on the Widow Mine drop. No damage really to be seen from that. And the medevac just heading on back home, so no real issues there. We're going to actually have a fast forge coming out from Classic as well. A little bit interesting. I don't think he's gone for the Templar Archives already, as it's a bit different timing. Of course, he's not even got the double gas of the natural. So yeah, this is an interesting style. It's not something that we normally see anymore. A bit old, but yeah, let's see how it does.
Yeah, this Banshee going to come in here. Does get 2 probes. Meanwhile, the Stalkers and Observer there, ready to greet it, and it will go down. I thought it was out.
I thought so too. Wow.
Yeah,
that
wow.
Stalker's got a laser on him, a scoped on in. Just
Got the range extender, whatever you call that. Yeah, able to shoot pretty far there, get that Banshee. But I mean, it was only the 1. He does have another one coming out here. Didn't decide to group them up and send them in together. And we actually have, we have Banshee speed on the way here, Gemini.
What? Okay, so yeah, he did. Wait,
What
was
is
it
going
Mara?
on?
Was it Mara? No, it was Bunny. Bunny did this, I think, last in the group stages as well. He went for the mech style with the fast Banshee speed upgrade, and it did nothing.
Right.
It literally didn't do anything. The Banshees kind of like walked in and got killed off really quickly, and then he didn't really make any more. So that was a bit unfortunate and very underwhelming. But this time we're getting Maru bringing it on out, and I'm a little bit more high hopes for Maru pulling this out than Bunny, unfortunately. But yeah, no, I'm very curious. Oh my God, no way.
Oh,
wow,
that would have been huge.
That would have been ridiculous.
Yeah, but Maru's built different, guys. The Banshee control will be spectacular, I'm sure. I feel like if you're going for Banshee speed, you really want to keep that first one alive, right? Like losing that's a little bit of a shame. You will be making more here. They do have tremendous DPS, kind of this glass cannon unit, right? They die pretty easy, but they also dish out tons of damage. And it is going to be mech, as you mentioned, from Maru. Getting his tanks, getting his Hellions. He'll be making those into Hellbats. And let's see if he can make this work. I feel like Classic's not the kind of player who's just going to cut probes on 3 bases. He does have the 4th Nexus going down, as we see. But he's not the kind of guy who's going to see mech and just full send it like we saw in the last series. I feel like he's going to have a more long-term plan to deal with this.
Yeah, you can already see he's got more probes than Sound did in that other game that we just watched in that series where he was cutting at around like 57 or something like that. Classic going up to the 63, still with that 4th base already coming up as well, like you said. So, yeah, not really his style to go for. The triple Banshee going to be going over to the main base with that Hyperflight Rotors upgrade fully activated at this point. We'll see how much damage that's able to do. I'm not quite sure how much Classic has prepared because a lot of his units are in the front here to try and deny this 3rd base. This is generally one of the weaknesses of mech, is that it's a little harder to get this 3 base set up since your units are not as mobile. Warp Prism also dropping Zealots in the back end while the Banshees go in the main.
Oh, Worker's going to be dying on both sides here. The Stalker Warping comes in. Meanwhile, that CC is taking a lot of damage. Just have to lift, get out, and have the CC, the Workers repair it. The SCV, sorry. A ton of them actually going down. 9 already. The damage continue to accumulate on both sides. A Medevac just going to get out. This game's suddenly getting wild. Are the Banshees still going, or have they been dealt with?
I think they've been dealt with for now. They're actually going over to the 4th base, just targeting down the Nexus, and if there's no units to respond, this actually might die. Like, they actually deal pretty decent DPS. Banshees are surprisingly strong, but yeah, Maru realizing that he's probably not going to be able to get that, just wants to make sure they stay alive. A much more conservative, safe play. I do like it from him. Doesn't want to get too crazy, considering he did just lose a bunch of SCVs, a couple more 2 tank splash as well. That's cute from Classic. I love that.
Yeah, very nice move there. Gets a couple more. Right now, things may kind of stabilize for a moment. We do see Classic ahead in the work count, able to delay that 3rd CC for a long time. And he already has his 4th base. He's macroing up. He's getting his upgrades on the way. We see the Cyclone upgrade coming out here, as well as armor and the Blue Flame Hellion upgrade. So Maru getting all his mech upgrades here. Going to be trying to transition into a strong mid game. I feel like it's come out kind of even. I feel like both players, like maybe Classic would be a little bit happier with how this has gone. I feel like he killed a ton of workers, but making 2 Immortals at a time is exactly what you need against mech. So I like his setup here.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the styles to go for if you're going for the macro approach. We saw some of the other players, like we already mentioned, going for the early bust with just the gateway units and the archons just to try and kill it nice and quick. Actually, he's still going into Storm late. That is a very interesting decision from Classic. The fact that it's going to be Cyclone Hellbat mech is kind of the reason why I believe he's doing this, because if you go for that style, it is actually still good to have Storm or some sort of splash. It's very good to zone those units away because they are so quick. You don't want them just diving you, and you don't want them to, you know, just have free reign. Generally, if they are going very heavy tank compositions, going first fast storm is not the play, because, again, storming tanks is not really a thing. You can't really get in range to storm them anyways, but you want to be zoning away all of those other ground units. And
oh my god,
Jesus,
look at this squad of Banshees floating in here. Going to depower both the Robos before those Immortals come out. That is huge. They are so fast. Going to fly through the main here. What a wild move. Pick off a bunch of workers, depower a bunch of stuff, and even get out without losing a single Banshee. Huge move by Maru here. I feel like this is exactly what he needed to get like ahead in this game, get back in this game, because he's going to be able to take out this base now.
Wow.
No way Classic can save this. These Banshees are such a menace right now.
Yeah, this is the benefit of having that Hyperflight upgrade on them. And this is something, again, you just don't normally see. And this is not something we saw when Bunny tried to do this the last time we saw it in this tournament. His got basically shut down really quickly, and he kind of had to just abandon the idea. But now we get to see it in its full-fleshed ideology here with these Banshees just going all over the place. It's just a straight run-by. It's literally just a drive-by of the bases. Just kill a pylon there, few probes here, go into the main base, kill a pylon over there, just go over to the... cancel the 5th base, why not?
Just kill it all. I feel like I'm watching Mutalist. There's like so many Banshees out right now. Classic deciding it's time to go, or maybe not actually. A little bit hesitant here. When you're hesitant against Cyclones, you're going to lose units to the lock-ons right now. I don't know if you can deal with the Banshees right now. The anti-air, yes, Cyclones obviously, but they're going to deal with so much DPS. Maru has trying to float over this 4th base. Classic's army is here to meet it. But right now, Maru has a bigger army. If he can get a good engagement, it could go his way. We'll have to see if he's going to be able to save this CC. Oh, it goes down. Big pick-off for Classic.
Yeah, that's quite nice considering the fact that it wasn't able to really get into a nice position with this army, but now he's getting kind of flanked a little bit by the Banshees on the bottom and the rest of the units over on the right-hand side. This is a wipe of an army coming out from Maru, just nothing at all to be left standing here from Classic. Definitely an overextension from him to try and go for that CC, because even trying to go into that choke point earlier, his army wasn't suited for it. Sure, he gets a crazy couple storms on this little small ramp, but this army from Maru is just not going to stop, I feel like.
Yeah, though he's powering through here. So many Protoss units going down. Cyclones can chase them all the way across the map with these lock-ons. Nothing Protoss has can outrange that, obviously, so you're always going to pick off a few. Maru does have another base landing over here.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to day 3 here of the RSL. I'm Tasteless. Joined with me is Gemini. How you doing, man?
Doing great. Excited to be back for some RSL. Was off the last couple of days, but finally here and ready to do some excellent matches hopefully today. Lots of great players to be playing.
A lot of Protosses advancing. This has been the theme of 2025. We could have 2 more advance here today.
Yeah, I mean, Hero definitely one of the favorites of the group, I would say. The other Protoss, Gerald, is a newcomer to the RSL, was actually trying to qualify every single season, was always roughing it out in those qualifiers, finally able to make it over himself. So it'll be great to see if he could put it up with some of the best of them in here. But this is quite a group to get thrown into as your first time in the RSL.
Yeah, I mean, SHIN and ByuN here, both very, very scary. Be my first Gerald cast ever. But SHIN and ByuN, I mean, these guys, yay, finally. But SHIN and ByuN, look, I mean, they might just get out. Everybody's looking very strong here. But yeah, I will tell you, man, I have become a Redditor, all right? I am now against the Protosses, all right? You can't see it, but I'm wearing a fedora right now, okay? Yeah, we'll see. Protosses right now have been dominating. We've got Max Pax, Zhaun, Classic, and Trigger, the first 4 players to advance.
Yeah, it's been pretty ridiculous. Lots of Protosses, but I mean, I love Protoss, so I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah, I'm a Protoss player myself.
I do enjoy it. This is the schedule, by the way, for the rest of season number 3. We are on the 3rd day so far, but it's going to be a bit of a compact schedule. We had to kind of mix everything into the last week there just because of a potential Chinese event that was going on. But
yeah, that's not happening now.
Yeah, kind of,
we moved our whole event, and then they just canceled. Like, oh, we're not doing it. So, yeah, basically the tournament is the same size and scope as previous seasons of RSL, but we're doing double-day broadcasts for next week. So if you're going to tune in, you would need to tune in several hours earlier than you normally watch. Otherwise, if you're watching on the VODs on YouTube, I mean, they'll be thrown up there. You can consume that as you normally would. And again, we're so happy that Archon Studio, they've stuck with us from the very beginning. These guys reached out to me right when we announced. And said, hey, we're working on this tabletop miniatures game. Would we be able to support you guys in any way? And I was like, oh my God, like that's yes, absolutely, that's amazing. And they've been supporting us the whole time. We just got the first figurine mailed to us here. It's the Zeratul miniature, and I got to say, this thing looks amazing. And obviously, there's many, many more miniatures to come here. This is just the first one that we got. I think they're going to be mailing us some other ones as well. But I think they're doing the game justice. It really, like, the miniature, it looks like what you see in the cutscenes. It looks like what you see in the game.
I mean, Zeratul is my favorite character in the whole campaign or whatever, so it's, like, so cool to see an actual figure. And once it's, like, all painted and everything,
I was more of a Menx guy myself.
Oh, really? Oh, a bit of a tyrannical dictator.
Yeah, I was more of a tyrannical dictator. Well, you work at RSL, you would know. But, yeah, I think what they've done is great, and we appreciate their support. So thank you so much, Archon Studio. And they got a bunch of other cool stuff on the site. I wasn't familiar with them before they contacted us, but they are the premier miniatures game maker in the entire world. Based out of Poland. They make great miniatures games. They make great producers for
Ziggy
RSL
mentioned.
as well. Ziggy, yeah. Polish people are killing it right now. Guys, consider joining our Patreon. It's patreon.com/ReviveSC2. We wanted to be the center of more kind of professional seasonal broadcasts for tournaments. We wanted to have something that was easy to watch, well-produced, high-quality casting. We put the casters together. And if you want to support us in our endeavor to do that, we would love for you to join us. If it's a little bit, if it's a lot, whatever position you're in to give, we would love to have you on with us. And look, if you don't have any money, that's okay. You can still join the Patreon for free, and you'll get updates like that. We've also got merch. That's another way to support our cause here. 20% off if you are a Patreon supporter.
Yep, they look pretty good. It's getting cold out. Perfect time for those hoodies.
Yeah. You're going to put your RSL t-shirt on. You're going to go, ooh, I think my nipples are popping out here. I better put my hoodie on and fill my mug up with cocoa. Hot cocoa. By the way, guys, so if you go to tastelessthreads.com, you can buy an RSL offline ticket. We got regular tickets, and we've got premium tickets. So consider doing that. There have not been that many offline events for StarCraft 2, and the biggest ones are in Saudi Arabia. So if you want to come to Korea and see our event here, it's going to be fun. It's our first big offline event, so I'm excited. It's going to be very cool to put on. And it's going to be a 2-day event. So the first day is going to be the LCQ. That's all the players fighting. Whoever wins that gets to play the following day. By the way, the signups are still open, but they're not going to be open forever.
Yeah.
By the way, if there's a pro watching, a lot of the other pros don't know.
Yeah.
that they need to sign up now. You have to have already played in an RSL qualifier. Doesn't mean you have to play in our main tournament, but if you played any of the qualifiers and you can come down to the venue, it's near Yeoksam Station, it's in the Gangnam area in Seoul, you can participate. So sign up. I was speaking to a couple pros. I'm not going to out them, but they did not understand that they needed to sign up right away. So definitely do that or you're going to miss out.
Yeah, we need to set up all the brackets and just know how many people are actually coming. So you could sign up right away. Yeah. That'd be
We need to know how many PCs we're going to set up and everything like that. You guys should definitely, if you're a fan, come down and watch the games. It's going to be a blast. Mm-hmm. We're trying to grow our YouTube, and basically we need you to go to YouTube and follow that page, subscribe there, like the videos. The bigger the YouTube gets, this is probably the most important thing that we're focused on right now, is just trying to get into the algorithm everywhere. StarCraft 2 actually performs very well on YouTube, but we need enough StarCraft 2 people liking this stuff and watching it there and subscribing so that the YouTube algorithm kind of jettisons this out to everybody.
Yeah, just go ahead, open up every single video, click like on every single one of them, and that would be so sick, honestly. But we have a match ready for us today. It is going to be our first one, going to be Hero versus Gerald. A pretty interesting match to begin, as Hero runs away from his computer for a moment. Always love watching to see what pros do.
He's right in the door. Do not come in winning RSL and locked.
That's so funny. I wonder if that actually is like a D&D thing he does for his wife or whatever. Tell him not to come in.
Yeah.
That's
you never know.
Getting the lipstick on. Nice.
Okay. That's unexpected. I guess that's chapstick. Whenever I see these shots of players in the rooms, I've always wanted to have just one room where there's just holes punched in the wall. You know what I mean? Just one. I would love that. I think
crash out pro game.
Yeah, I had to crash. I think I should actually make a green screen of just a room that I have where just holes punched in the wall. Actually, I think I'm going to get that made. Now that we're talking about that would be great to just green screen in. Just to, you know what I mean?
That's so good. Like a broken pipe, on the ceiling or something.
Empty pizza boxes on the floor. Just, you know what I mean? The total degeneracy.
That's awesome.
So it's going to be Hero versus Gerald. Now, look, Hero is no slouch. I mean, he could very well win this season, right? And so let's see what Gerald can do. Very excited to have Gerald qualifying here for this tournament. And we're going to go to Tokamak here for our first map in this best of 3. Hero versus Gerald starting now.
All right. Yep. Top right-hand side is going to be Gerald coming in as the newcomer of RSL. Hero on the bottom left. Did play in season number 1, got to the playoffs, but didn't make it too far after that. Gerald going to be trying to get to his playoffs, his first playoffs, that is. It's definitely going to be an uphill battle, like we mentioned. Hero and Gerald, they have actually played a pretty decent number of times, but I believe the record is something like 23-5 in series in favor of Hero.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty one-sided, which, I mean, Gerald is a lesser known of the two pros, of course, but To be fair, the 3 of the ones that he's won have been in the last year, whereas the other 2 were all the way back in 2021.
Yeah.
So he's been actually doing a couple times he's been able to get some series wins off of Hero. So perhaps this is his opportunity to actually get into the winners bracket of this group and potentially find some more upsets. So PvP always that kind of a matchup that can really throw some weird stuff out there. So maybe he can find it here.
So, you know, I would love to see an upset. I would love to see Gerald win this one, but I think it's going to be tough. I mean, Hero's just very good, especially at PvP. He's very, very on top of what he needs to do. So let's see what kind of game we're going to have here. It is double gate right now for Gerald, and I believe it was actually single gate here for Hero. And we're looking at the probe right now, and Hero appears to be getting ready to set up a proxy.
Yeah, that pylon is going to go over to the right-hand side. It looks like it's in a position where it might be for a proxied Stargate of anything. Likely not to be a Robo, but I guess you could technically go for that in any point. But the Stargate is looking much more likely. It's kind of interesting as well because he's doing it off of a 1-gate build, where normally the 1-gate builds lend more towards an expand. Whereas if he's just going to put a proxy Stargate, this might be very difficult for Gerald to really catch notice of, and that is going to be a Stargate right there. So we'll see if Gerald is able to read into this at all to actually find out that there is going to be an Oracle in his base quite quickly.
Yeah, and if this Oracle gets in there and gets a lot of kills, that can a lot of times be a death sentence in PvP. You know, this is a delayed expand here. And, you know, Gerald's doing a pretty decent job of just continuing to plug this area up with pylons so that the Nexus can't be thrown down here. Hero's been floating 400 minerals for a while now. Do you want to send the first Oracle in, or do you want to wait for 2?
I think in a situation like this, especially when you're doing a build that really looks like you're doing a more passive approach, going in with the first one is what you want, because that just gives them more time to possibly sniff out what you're doing, especially if they go for like a sentry opener or something. They can get a hallucination into your base, and then you see no tech, and then you can really kind of put the pieces together. But looks like Gerald's even going to let the Adept in, unfortunately, as the double Stalker is across the map trying to pressure. So that means even more probes are going to die before the Oracle gets in. Luckily, we'll be able to kill it, but that's 2 probes already dead, and I'm not quite sure where that battery is being made by Gerald. That might actually be in the middle line. Oh, wow, that's actually great. Nice read by him, being able to realize that there might be something coming, and perfect timing on it, and we'll get the recall as well. Oh, that's so risky! Holy crap, okay. He gets it to work.
Well, this means that the proxy is in some ways failed right now.
Yeah,
You know, because he had a choice to either try to gun down probes or go for, or that, and then when he did that, the shutdown was huge. So, yeah, Gerald in pretty good shape, at least as far as deflecting that attack there.
Yeah, and he's going to be faster on Blink as well because he didn't go for the Stargate, so his Twilight is going to be finished right now, whereas Heroes only started a little bit ago. The double Oracle, though, still always has potential. The double Oracles, of course, bypass the battery healing, so that means there's plenty of opportunity for those to still get some damage, so Gerald's going to need to keep tabs on where those are moving and make sure he has everything prepared.
Okay, he's going to come in now. Guns down a couple probes. Does not commit onto that sentry. And getting 5 is a lot. That's a lot of kills. Right now, worker count 27 to 31, so Hero's going to be steadily ahead here. I think if maybe Hero can fly in one more time and get a couple more, I think that would really cement his lead. Right now, it is still pretty neck and neck.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be really nice, though, for Hero. He's going to feel much happier given the way that the initial Oracle went. So he will be up a pretty much like 3-4 workers or so for the rest of this early game. Both players going to be going in for some extra gateways as well. Gerald actually going for 2 extra gateways, so he might be trying to go for a little bit more Stalker pressure, knowing that his Blink is going to be a little bit faster than Heroes. He might try to find some sort of timing that he could potentially abuse with that, whereas Heroes, on the other hand, is going to have to be a bit more defensive with his setup before his Blink is actually set up and done here as well. I like that Gerald is also sending these hallucinations out to keep track of where those Oracles are to make sure that Hero cannot snowball this damage any further.
Okay, so he's basically going to stalk that with the hallucinated Phoenix. One Stalker is shot down here by Hero. Hero, basically total map control here. He's getting his 3rd base, so we need to see, you know, Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind. Sorry, Gerald is also now going to take his third base. I was about to say he'll either have to expand or he'll have to try to power up and do some kind of a push. And so this game's getting stretched out. We're going to go into a macro game here. But Hero is moving up with these Stalkers, and I think he has a considerable amount more Stalkers. He might be able to shut this third base down.
It's kind of surprising. Gerald actually neglected chronoing his blink, and so Hero was actually able to catch up very quickly. I think he probably sunk at least 3 chronos into that to make it so that could basically finish at the same time. A forward blink onto the Stalkers as well to one-shot them as best as he can. And this is going to make it very difficult now for Gerald to actually defend here. Hero taking that economic lead and really trying to snowball it himself by getting that blink up to snuff and then getting enough Stalkers out to be able to potentially deny this third base. But until we get some more units out, it's going to be hard to really fully push this in.
Yeah, he's going to run in here with these Oracles now. When you have 2, the shield battery can't heal in time, so you just one-shot stuff. And 7 more workers killed. Huge. I like the 2 Adepts down here. He's going to get a couple kills of his own. Looks like it's going to be shut down here at the natural, but that was a pretty good recovery harass there. 5 probes gunned it down. Hero overall still slightly in the lead with the workers, so he's going to end up probably with a bigger army long term. And Gerald is going to tech into DTs.
I do like the play. He realizes that he is definitely behind in the economy and also in the army, considering he just lost a lot of Stalkers at that third base. So trying to find something that could potentially bring him back into this game. This is not going to be a timing that Hero is going to be potentially ready for, but he still will have the things necessary to actually defend it. It's just, do they end up in the correct positions? Sometimes the single observer that you make might just be on the other side of the map when the DTs come in or whatnot. The Oracle's not quite in position, but he's just going to blink right on up. He's going to kill everything in the main base as this pylon gets depowered. The Dark Shrine immediately scouted. Only a few sentries here to be able to deny this, and that's not really going to do anything. Thankfully, the Stasis Ore doesn't actually catch all of the Stalkers. He was able to bait that with some probes, but I mean, at this point, you're now sacking probes to even keep this alive, as none of his production is actually powered right now. All the gateways were taken out. Hero is taking a commanding position in his own main base.
Yeah, he's going to run out. He can do another macro cycle and probably try to attack it again, I would think. Really nice moves there. Kind of comes through, cuts down the pylons. Unfortunately, all 3 sentries were bunched up in the main, and so they weren't able to be comboed together with the Stalkers to, Guardian Shield and Stalker for Stalker is huge. But he wasn't able to take advantage of that. So Hero steadily stays ahead. I don't think Gerald's dead yet, but, like, he is definitely got a black eye, going into the late game here. And I wouldn't be shocked if Hero in a little bit here tries to come out and pounce on that 4th base or 3rd base with another attack. Because eventually he's just going to have more. We're seeing this kind of like back and forth micro, but I think it's getting clear, like the distance as to where the 2 players are. It's getting wider and wider.
Yeah, no, Hero is only making correct moves at this point.
Yeah.
Gerald is really trying to find anything he can to get back into this game, but Hero is just always one step ahead and just always coming out with the correct decision here and there. And he's been left with a pretty significant lead at this point. He's going to have +1 already finished with +2 on the way. Gerald not even close to an upgrade finishing on his end. He actually has the Dark Shrine finish. I thought that Hero actually targeted it, but apparently not. So that means the DTs will be out. But look at that. An observer perfectly positioned.
It's beautiful. It's just like the miniature that we have in the studio.
Oh, my God.
Yes. He's going to come down now, and he's going to try to hit this base. Oh, my God.
Oh, that's so brutal. Almost every single unit for Gerald is stuck in a stasis right now, forced to use the probes yet again to defend here as he tries to keep his singular Stalker that is not stasised alive. Unfortunately dies anyways. Hero is just running circles around Gerald at this point.
Yeah, it's getting pretty brutal here. He's going to reinforce with more. I think he's probably going to have the killing blow coming up here. The Immortals, the Zealots, the Archon here, all grouped up. The 4th Nexus has been restarted for Gerald here. I think what he's trying to get rid of this DT because he doesn't want to lose a bunch of probes while he's attacking. And I think he's just going to tee up for a big attack here.
Yeah, this is going to be really difficult for Gerald to defend. He's going to be trying to get a couple more DTs, I think, to maybe send across the map and just cause any amount of chaos. But Hero, at this point, is extremely solidly set to be pretty safe against that. He's actually going to be using them for defensive Archon Warpins for anything, any extra damage, basically, in these fights. But this army from Hero is just looking monstrous. It's basically double the supply almost of Gerald at this point. +2 is going to be finishing when +1 is for Gerald, so the upgrade is not even going to get evened up or anything like that. And Hero is really just kind of biding his time, making sure he has enough, enough units, and does have that Warp Prism to reinforce as well, and then he's really just going to send it home.
Okay, he's going to move in again here, and I think this is probably going to be the killing blow. Looks like he's going to just gun down the battery. I mean, no matter how you cut it, this is a losing fight here for Gerald. Even some of the army actually not attacking for Hero. He's going to regroup, and that'll probably be GG. We'll be going into game 2.
Yep, I love the 3 observers as well, just to be super safe. There's no observer snipe shenanigans, and then there's just a big warp and DTs or anything.
That's one of the ways you can try to stay in the game, right? Is you just snipe the obs and then the DTs drag it out. GG. Game 1 goes to Hero. Although I think Gerald put up a pretty good fight. I think Hero, he just knows how to kind of get in there and get his jabs in, and then get out without losing anything. So eventually he was just too big to fail.
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate for Gerald, too, considering that he actually got the read on the proxy Stargate somehow. Something was able to let him actually make that battery.
Sometimes at the highest level, they can go, oh, like you made like a second zealot. That means you're going to do this. Like, 6 minutes later, that's this kind of tech. But yeah, somehow he knew.
Yeah, he knew, but then unfortunately the double Oracle just ended up still getting pretty crucial damage regardless. So just a small little window for Hero to capitalize on, and he does. That's the thing, is that Hero will always capitalize on those minuscule mistakes and will just show that that's why he's basically a total tier above some of these other players.
Yeah. So hopefully Gerald can come back. I don't think there was any one thing that he did wrong there. It just seems like Hero kind of chipped away at him over time. And then, in the end, that push was just too big, so it crushed him. We're going to be going on to Mothership here for our second map here in this PvP.
Pretty excited. This is actually one of my most interested maps, I think, for the new map pool.
Yeah.
A 3-player map, and just the look of it is so sick. Just the fact that it actually looks like a Mothership is like I saw this guy actually posted on Reddit before it was even in the TLMC and stuff like that. I was just like, yo, this is like the most unique, cool-looking map I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good map. I think it's well, as a map to play on, I think it's good, but I like the extra step taken to then also make it look like the Mothership. I mean, I think that's very fun. That's very cool.
Yeah, I love this map, just the way it looks. I mean, I haven't gotten to play on it too much yet, but regardless, it's pretty interesting, the fact that they tried to mitigate some of the disadvantages of the 3-player map setup as much as possible. The way the bases are laid out and everything makes it tend more towards a more solid and fair way to play a 3-player map. So I'm just very curious to see more of this map played. If the pros can continue to like playing it and whatnot is an interest of mine as well. So yeah, I'm curious to see what kind of a PvP we can get on this one. Lots of places to proxy, that's for sure. So I'm curious to see if that'll come out yet again, just like game number 1.
Yeah, right now it's going to be one gate on both sides, so not the double gate that Gerald went for in the previous game. And, PvP, I mean, there's just such a wide range of possible openers that you can do that it makes for probably one of the more complicated early games out of all the matchups, really. You have so many different possible interactions.
Yeah, there's lots of different things you have to account for, different timings and whatnot. And the fact that it is a 3-player map, that does kind of open up the possibility as well, not just because there's so many places that you could proxy, but there's also the opportunity that maybe a player doesn't scout you quite as early, or you we're just not used to the timings of when the scouts happen, and maybe you can kind of slip in a faster nexus something here and there, even though you're going for maybe a 2-gate opener or something like that. So there's definitely lots of ways that you can kind of manipulate things. And look at this.
They're both proxying.
Doing it.
They're both scumbags. Okay. So this could get interesting. We got to see what kind of proxy it is. Are they both going to Stargate proxy each other? That can be really funny, because then they both have oracles that fly in, and then they both know they have to make phoenixes, and it ends up becoming a weird phoenix game anyways.
Yeah, that would definitely be something. But this looks like more like a robo. Yeah, there we go. So it's going to be a gateway proxy for Gerald, but a robo for Hero. The positions of both of these proxies are quite close as well, so that means there's going to be some potential for very fast aggression here. I like that Hero is going for the exact same setup as well that he did last game. Actually, maybe that's not true. I think didn't he go for an Adept last time? I don't think there is an Adept on the map right now, so never mind.
You can see it?
Oh, no, he's not.
No. So this activates a little bit quicker, right?
Yeah, you're
Gateway
definitely
man versus Robo Man.
Yeah, the thing is though is that once you have the units out from the gateway, it's like you really have to capitalize on the early attacks right away, because otherwise then the Immortal will actually just come out from behind and will just flank you, and then you can just die immediately. So it's going to get really tricky really quickly for both these players. They have to be super careful on where these units are going and what possible weaknesses come from the other side. Oh my god, that's so close.
Can't even see the shadow of it.
Oh my goodness. Get your glasses on, Hero.
That was crazy.
Oh! The accidental scout. Uh-oh.
Yeah,
well,
careful. There's an Immortal coming out of there. That will kill you. All
Run.
right. No! So he's going to chase him down. Gerald on the run right now.
and one of his stalkers is on the other side of the map because he actually made it from the proxied gateway, so he's going to have one less unit at his disposal here to defend. But the thing is that Hero's not really going to know about this, so Gerald basically just has to let that thing stand over there and just wait. He could actually just defend on his high ground and go for a double Adept Warpin and try to shade them into the main base. That could actually also be pretty decent.
Oh, that's a good idea. I hadn't thought of that, yeah.
Yeah, but it looks like he just wants to stay defensive so far and just make sure he doesn't just die right away to the push, but that's always an opportunity later. It looks like he might even just go for a bunch of Stalkers. He could warp in 4 Stalkers as well.
Yeah.
Use that to go for the same type of move.
So he's right. What Hero's trying to do is basically take advantage of the Warp Prism Micro. You know, the Stalker shots, the little lasers actually have to hit the target for the damage to be done, so you can pick up and kind of juggle units with that. Nice force field. He isolates actually 2 Stalkers that are going to be picked off now.
Oh, 3 actually. If that one.
Oh, excuse me.
If he had the vision there, he could have actually killed that 3rd one too. That was a beautiful force field. And he's gonna maybe almost lose it right there, but it looks like it's gonna be the 4 Stalker hit squad from the back end. Actually, more than that, is he's gonna use it to try and flank this and potentially get the Immortal, but it's just the worst timing possible.
Yeah.
It's a little bit too far away, but Hero's actually not paying attention to that. He's just gonna walk into the main base anyways, as he's got 2 Adepts going. He's not even realizing that Immortal's dying, but I don't think it really matters because he's got the whole army inside of Gerald's base, warping in with the Prism as well.
I think this game might end. He can unpower. Oh, no, actually, there's 2 pylons there. I don't know why I didn't see
He's going to get both of them.
Yeah, he's going to take both of them out. Okay, so the Immortal can't come out now. The 4 Stalkers, they're being moved too late. I don't know that would have mattered. He basically has, like, you know, just the gateways that are functional. GG. Game 2 goes to Hero. Very, very decisive victory there.
Yeah, I can't say I'm surprised, but I do kind of wish that... I was kind of thinking that maybe Gerald would have a bit of a better chance in this series overall, considering the fact that his other series that he's going to be having today, he's much less favored even than versus Hero. So if anything was going to go his way, it felt like this had to be the series, and it just felt like just a couple tiny things just didn't quite work out, and he just really just couldn't recover from them. It was it's really quite unlucky, just the way that the second game kind of rolled out with the Stalker being made on the other side of the map, and then, you know, the Stalkers getting caught on the force field and everything. And honestly, a bit of a build order loss, let's be honest.
Well, it's funny because whenever you proxy, that's all. The assumption is that they're doing something standard, and you're going to kind of like come in with an edge. But when you both proxy each other, then you get a very, very different looking game. And of course, the fact that the proxy was spotted too. Yeah. You know.
I mean, yeah, just nothing going Gerald's way in this series, unfortunately for him. He's going to have to rebound a little bit to play again in the lower bracket match. But until then, maybe you can go ahead and pick up one of these tickets and be a little bit more fortunate than Gerald was.
Go to tastelessthreads.com, buy a ticket, then buy an airplane ticket if you have to do that, or a train ticket. You could even buy a boat ticket. Maybe you're going to come in from Japan.
You might have to leave right this second to be able to get here in time. But,
yeah. Boat's probably not the way to go. But we would love to have you guys come down to our offline event. This is going to be a big deal for us. We've never done anything like this before. But, you know, there's something special about having StarCraft in person, like being there to all watch it happen live and have the hype and everything. So it's a 2-day event. We've got a regular ticket for your average Joe gamer, and then if you're a big bad baller, maybe you're watching this, you got a couple gold chains around your neck, and you've got your grill on, and you're going, actually, I'm a bit of a baller.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to get that premium ticket. Well, you can go do that. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we will be going into the second match here of today's RSL. We'll see you soon.
just look so beefy.
They are big indeed, Gemini. Maru's got a 35 army supply advantage right now. Classic going to be the one probably defending. There's so many Hellbats. Nice storms go down on the Terran army. Forces the siege. That's what you wanted, right? You need to buy a little bit more time here as Classic. Let your four base economy kick in. He has 85 probes right now. Going to be cranking out so many units. And if you can force this mech army to kind of siege once or twice across the map, you can get out such a bigger army to deal with it. These Cyclones being annoying here, picking off whatever they can. Of course, the Blink can, what do you call that? Unlock the lock-on. What's the word? Help me here.
Dodge the lock-on,
Dodge the lock-on. He
Cancel
dodges the lock-on. Cancels the lock-on. So sook. Maru's still trying to make some headway here. It's going to be slow progress. I think unsieging the tanks might be a little bit risky here, as Classic is kind of sharking around to see what he can get done.
Yeah, this high ground position is really difficult for Maru to get up because Classic is doing a great job of just hiding up here, waiting for Maru to make any misplay, and that's when you strike with the storms on top of all of the Hellbats, all of the Cyclones, and that's where he's finally able to get that damage. But once those storms are done, once they're gone, it seems like there's nothing left for Classic. The Immortals able to get targeted down. Charge Thoughts coming into the natural, trying to make any sort of chaos happen. That low CC might come into play after all.
If that goes down, I will feel so vindicated, Gemini. You should have repaired it. But there's just so much Terran right now knocking on the door of Classic here. Going to push in. The Siege Tank's finally getting a good spot. That's what he's been looking for. The Banshee's raining down on the Immortals from the side. So much DPS, and he can't answer that. A bunch of SCVs do go down to a Zealot run by, I guess. But these tanks will get cleared up here, and Classic has somehow held this.
Wow, that was close on that defense. There was no observer in that fight for a long time, it seemed like. He finally had to bring one over, and that's when he was able to start killing off those Banshees, and then also then getting some extra Zealot Warpins to clear out the tanks since the storms finally were able to kill off the rest of those Hellbats. And on the back end, like you said, 12 SCVs getting killed off, but look at Maru at 77 SCVs still. It's like a Zerg player, man. You kill 20 of them, and somehow they're still way ahead of you anyways. I mean,
well, the Pros is on 85.
Yeah,
I mean,
in this sense, it's not quite that, but, you know, you feel like you did so much damage, yet they're still at an insane work account anyways. It's
these
like, God,
players,
what do I have
you've
to
always
do?
got to find a way to take a shot at the Zergs, Gemini. I squash them and they come back.
You guys had too much success for years and years. You got to take some heat, all right?
All right. Anyway, it's your turn now. So two cannons going down here, getting some static defense. Should probably heal that CC up at some point, but no, Zealous obviously won't go for it. They'll get the SCVs instead. That's guaranteed damage, and it can be healed if he ever needs to. Yep, I feel like Classic did such a good job defending that. I thought he was going to be in trouble there. This is what I would like to see more from Maru. Getting these Hellion harassment squads going down into the corner bases or the outermost bases. Try and trade them out for probes. Like, they can be really cost efficient if you trade some Hellions for probes. This random Stalker squad is going to come in here, forced to blink away, does lose one. And yeah, Classic's just getting his High Templar, he's getting his Immortals, and he's going to just play that, you know, mass base macro style that we saw in the first game.
Yeah, this is going to get a bit of a pause for now on the action. It seems like both players just trying to get to their maxed out states. Classic getting there first. Maru about to get there himself. But Maru generally doesn't really need to be the one doing anything crazy at this point because, again, he is the meching player. They are always going to be sitting back, just kind of waiting, trying to force the Protoss into awkward engagements and to overextend into their well-defended positions and whatnot. And it's going to be Classic that's going to try to multi-prong Maru to death at this point, as he's got an army over on the top left-hand side with his bottom right army also trying to find any sort of wiggle room that he can to get anything, but Maru is very good on the defense for now. It's going to force Classic into an ultra late transition, which is going to be the double Stargate.
And now this is a real Warp Prism, guys. He can actually warp in units with that. It's not the mind game that we saw earlier, so if he can get some Zealots in the main, that could be huge. The mech army will struggle to get back there in time. Classic bringing all his forces together to hit this base over here. Big storms go down, tanks are falling. There is another layer behind that on the high ground. So Classic gonna have to pause here for a moment, but he does cancel a CC. Maru defending for his life right now, but doing a very good job. Love those 3 turrets there to deny that War Prism.
Yeah, that's very nice placement from Maru. We'll be able to kill that off, and that's going to alleviate a lot of pressure that he was probably feeling in that moment. He did get a nice defense on the left-hand side in the 6th. Welcome back, everybody, to the RSL third day of season number 3. We just had a PvP, ended pretty quickly. Got to be one of the fastest series I think we've had in the entire season so far. But so far, we're going to be having a TVZ to join us, of course, and it's going to be Mr. Sturgeon to help along, the Zerg player himself, as I don't play any of the races, so it's going to be great to have you here.
Well, this is our first ZVT of the season, Gemini.
Is that true? Oh, you're right.
Yeah, we
That's
did
true.
have Solar and Bunny in Group A, but they didn't end up playing each other. So this will be the first CVT in the tournament. I'm very excited to see kind of what they're playing in this matchup right now. I think Muters are pretty good, again. I was kind of memeing about 2-base Muter in the first season, but like, it's actually not bad now. 3-base Muter is a little bit better, maybe, if you play really well.
Yep.
But I'm curious to see how it's changed.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, these two players, definitely some good favorites to get out of the group as well in second place. I feel like Hero overall is probably the favorite to go out first.
Yeah.
But SHIN and ByuN, definitely some high caliber players that can make it through as well. Potentially even an upset against Hero. It's always on the cards. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be an interesting series between the two. What were you going to say?
I was going to say SHIN's like, I was going to interrupt you there. You didn't let me. I was going to say SHIN's looking like one of the best Zergs in Korea right now with kind of Dark stepping away from the scene, right? He's looking super strong. This is a bit of a classic matchup. These guys have played a lot. I think it usually goes in the way of ByuN to the tune of about 60%-ish, but it's like always, it's always a good battle. It could go either way. Super excited here. We've got 3 of the more standard maps as well. No crazy picks coming here. Tokamak, Maganatha, and Persephone, as you can see. All very well, tried and tested maps that we're very used to.
Yeah, unfortunately not going to get any of the newer ones from the new pool, but that's totally fine. But going back to what you said about the win rates between the two, it's kind of interesting as well because both of the players feel they're kind of streaky. It seems like when I looked at the match history of them, it was like a huge string of ByuN results and then a huge string of SHIN results, and then they were kind of going back and forth a little bit like over a year ago. So it's kind of interesting that they seem to have this like big streak against each other, just flopped essentially. But the last match that they played, SHIN did win 3-0. So perhaps now this is the start of the SHIN streak where he's going to start to win the next 5 matches against ByuN in a row, and it'll start as well right here.
Well, I'm down for that. We need a Zerg player to go far here. I think when you talk about ByuN, I think his form varies quite a bit. Like sometimes he's just super on fire and the micro is out of control and he just looks so good.
Yeah.
If he has a day like that, I think it could be really tough for SHIN. But SHIN obviously capable of playing at the top level as well. So we'll have to see what is going to happen here. Pretty standard opening so far. We got the hatch going down. Gas, racks, going to be a pretty normal start. Who's your money on if you had to pick one player here, Gemini?
I'm still going to go for ByuN.
You're going to go for ByuN?
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, other than that 1-3-0 that SHIN did do just recently, like I said, ByuN was the one that came off of the huge... Actually, you know what? No, never mind. I'm gonna go all in on the meme that I was just talking about how this is going to be SHIN's start of the streak. No, SHIN's going to win.
I agree.
He's going to win. This is going to be the
For once, we agree,
the
Gemini.
The illegal act thing is going to happen where it's, the big streak of ByuN, now it's going to be the big streak of SHIN. I'm going all in on this. I think he's going to win.
Well, let's
That's my
see.
analysis. I have
No
about,
rationale behind it, just looking at a league.
Nothing at all about how the two are playing, about what strategies they're doing, purely based off of illegal act patterns that I am, forcing into this narrative.
Sounds good, man. We do know SHIN as an enjoyer of the Roach style in this matchup on the previous patch. We'll have to see if he's stuck with that. He kind of was one of the players who was really going for the, no ling speed, going for roaches. I don't think we're going to see that this game necessarily, but he might pull that out. We could see Muters. We could see a bunch of stuff. Right now, this Reaper is running all the way around here. Just going the long way for some reason. Not going to dart to the natural and try and pick off a ling. I'm actually a little bit confused about that. Maybe he doesn't want to show it because the Overlord is sitting outside the natural. He doesn't, but I mean, it's going to be spotted as it comes in here anyway, and Queens are on the way, so you're not going to be surprised or anything. It's very standard to have these 4 to 6 lings and the double Queen to just get rid of this Reaper in the early game. And he will get confirmation of the 3rd base for the Zerg.
Yeah, I guess he just wanted to make sure there was no random Overlord or Zergling on the other side of the map, so that's cool. That is a wild 3rd CC placement. I don't think I've ever seen that ever in a pro game.
That when I play on the ladder, that annoys me because I always fly in the main with my Overseer and send a Changeling to the natural wall, and then the Changeling gets killed and the Overseer flies in the main, and I don't see the third CC. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be able to fly to the third base location, either one pretty quickly there from the natural, and you may not see it unless you poke the front with some Zerglings or something, or send an Overlord in. You know, a lot of time the Overlord does go into the main, so we'll have to see if that is spotted.
Yeah, I love that little mind game that ByuN is throwing out here. It's very interesting. And considering the fact that he's going to be going for a lot of Hellions anyways, that means he's going to have the map control. He should know where the Lings are coming from, and he will be able to deny the scout of the natural through those Hellions. And like you said, it's very likely that they just send the Overlords into the main base. So yeah, I kind of like this little potential mind game that ByuN is throwing into this one. Perhaps this will throw SHIN off guard, but regardless, it's still going to be a Hellion Banshee opener. So a lot of potential aggression going to be coming out from ByuN if SHIN is not prepared with Queens in position and enough units out. This could definitely deal some pretty decent damage and set him up for a nice mid game.
Yeah, it's going to be a 3cc 1-1-1 out of ByuN here. No crazy like Reaper builds. We see him 2-Rax Reaper, 3-Rax Reaper a lot. Nothing like that. Playing something pretty standard here. SHIN already has a lot of Queens out, more in production, so I think he'll be more than ready for, you know, with the defense for these Hellions along with the Speedlings. I like that little Ling there, just seeing if anything flies out of the main like a Banshee or Viking or anything like that. Again, actually will spot the Banshee. Beautiful placement there, just good vision. And he's going to be able to maybe delay the CC a little bit here, unless the Hellions kill it instantly, which they will.
Nice. Perfect timing from ByuN. Unfortunately, it doesn't really hide the third CC very much. Basically, got the scout off right when it's landing, but still, it's going to be very early from him, so that's still going to, he's still going to find the economic benefit, of course, but doesn't really get any of the extra mind game added from kind of putting it in the natural there. So a little unfortunate for that, but not really going to be game altering too much. The first Banshee is going to get dissuaded pretty easily by those double Queens over in the natural. But there are a lot of Hellions on the map right now. I'm not quite sure exactly the number, but it looks like quite a few.
It looks about 8 or so, so a bit of an investment here into the Hellions. The Banshee actually went in just before Cloak finished. It was a little bit unfortunate. And already taken half its HP from those Queens. Means it's not going to get much damage. Huge run by here, though, at the third base. Going to try and pick off some of these Lings. There's actually so many Hellions. There's not enough Lings right now. The Queens are helping out. More Lings coming over. Some of the drones starting to go down here. This could be some big damage.
Oh, this is going to get ridiculous for SHIN. 7 drones, 8 already dying. They're all bunched up on that gas, but unfortunately, the Hellions not able to get an extra shot, but that's some great damage, and then a kill on the fourth base, as well as 2 SCVs come to high five to say, good job, Banshees. I like what you did there, but that's some pretty good damage so far from ByuN. The 8 Hellions doing a good amount. He did sacrifice all of them to do it, as a third SCV needs to come over to give the support.
Those 2 SCVs looking at each other like,
as well.
Are we supposed to be here? Like,
he just lost 4 SCVs because of the bad rally. That's kind of insane.
Yeah, that's insane.
We
Tons
never see that.
Lost.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, big investment by ByuN with the 8 Hellions and the Banshees, but he does kind of cash out well enough with the 8 drones. SHIN did drone really well like through the whole early game, so he's still up in the 70s. I think that's not too bad, actually, like only losing 8 to 8 Hellions and a couple Banshees. He's in a good spot. Armory coming down as well. He's got his upgrades on the way, 1-1 in Combat Shield. He's looking to go in a pretty solid mid-game here, I think.
Yeah, honestly, like, and consider the fact that he lost those couple SCVs, like, it actually evens it out really well. Like, if he didn't lose the SCVs, then it's, like, not bad at all. But then, like, yeah, just randomly losing 4 SCVs on the rally is, like, actually making this kind of awkward now for ByuN. But yeah, SHIN coming off of this pretty decently, like you mentioned. It looks like big damage at first, but then, you know, you calculate everything into it, and it's like, well, you know, you do have to sacrifice quite a lot for it. Lots of Banelings on the field as well, as Baneling speed is going to be finishing up pretty soon here as well, in time for this first main attack from ByuN. The double Banshee going to try to come in to the left side of the map here to distract him, as the main force does take a hold on the right side, unless it starts to get jumped, as the Baneling speed is going to finish right now. Unfortunately, the Marine's able to get just barely out of range, so will not get a juicy connection, but does dislodge the tank and makes it a little bit more difficult for ByuN.
Yeah, really nice shutdown on that push before the siege tank gets set up in that annoying little spot down there. where you can start to hit like the gas workers and stuff like that. These medevacs will be annoying for a little bit, but yeah, really well played here by SHIN. ByuN actually made some turrets. I'm not sure if he was expecting mutas or something like that. You know, it's the possibility of it, but it is going to be Lingbane Hydra here for SHIN.
Yeah, so we'll see how he's going to go into this mid game. I mean, he's pretty much going to be pretty solid here. Losing 6 drones, though, I think 2 of those Banshees in total is definitely not something you generally want, especially considering it felt like he was actually defending that pretty well. He's got tons of queens on the map, actually. But this 5th base still not getting thrown down just yet. This drone is yet again going to get denied. But the unit count is quite heavy here for SHIN, so this will get thrown back for now. It's up to ByuN now to continue all of this multi-prong harass with the double medevacs, so that way he can limit the creep, he can keep SHIN on his side of the map, and make it so that way he can't just throw anything across him while ByuN is trying to re-max a little bit.
Yeah, I like SHIN's position here. I mean, as long as he gets this 5th base up in the near future, he's going to be fine on the economy front. He's got his infestation pit finishing up, so he'll be able to go into Hive. All his upgrades finishing for the Hydras, etc. He does see the 4th CC. It wasn't like a crazy early 4th CC. So I think SHIN will be happy with the spot he's in right now. Just doesn't want to take too much damage to these Marines.
Yeah, nice micro as well from ByuN to target fire some of those Banelings to make it as cost ineffective for SHIN as possible. Going to be moving out to the right-hand side, and that will get scouted out by one of the Lings, so we'll be fully aware of that as SHIN. But the double medevac continues to try and deny as much creep as possible on the map. This left-hand side drop still being a nuisance, as well as this random Banshee, but luckily an Overseer will come over, and we'll be able to kill that off. But the double medevac still lurking around as the main force comes to the right.
Okay, oh, again, ByuN is unsieged. He ran onto creep, and SHIN just pulls the trigger right away, sends that whole army packing, picks off another tank or 2 there. This drop going to fly into the main, but SHIN already split his army. He's ready for this. He knows he doesn't have mutas or anything like that to pick off these medevacs, so he split his army very nicely here. Defended extremely well.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
Just gets away there, but yeah, good defense by SHIN. He's now maxed out. Hive is on the way, 2-2 as well. He actually got his carapace super early. That's kind of the more important upgrade when you're against a ton of Marines. So yeah, I like this spot for both these guys. Widow Mines being added in as well now for ByuN.
This is looking really good for SHIN. I mean, he's done a great job of just kind of keeping track of everything ByuN is trying to do, and hasn't seemed like he's gotten caught off guard once. Now going in for a big engage in the middle of the map, yet again seemingly catching ByuN off guard. Nice micro in the first half of the engage to keep those Banelings at bay, but then the next wave, a pretty decent split overall, and ByuN will actually come out of this on top for now until the next wave of Banelings tries to come crashing in. Unfortunately, losing track of the ones on the top of the ramp means that those Marines do get killed off, and so SHIN will eventually take a better trade. But still, it seems like SHIN is really being the one that's trying to capitalize on ByuN's movements and trying to punish him where he's not really expecting it. ByuN has never really taken and engaged this game where he is the one initiating it and being in the main control of the tempo so far. SHIN is doing a really good job of keeping on tabs of that.
Absolutely. I was a little bit worried there for SHIN. Moving off creep can be so scary against these Widowmine armies. He's actually going to be on creep for this fight, though. Tons of Widowmines burrowing here. He's got to get some good shot. Actually, a bit of friendly fire going down there on the Terran army. ByuN forced to retreat here, and it's going to be a Lurker follow-up as well. So if ByuN isn't able to slow the Zerg down and he gets a ton of Lurkers out, this could be really good for SHIN. That 5th base gets cancelled, and SHIN's actually pushing this all the way to the Nat right now. Another CC there as well.
Yeah, ByuN is really trying to make sure he can get as many extra bases as this game sets up for a longer situation, but SHIN is doing a very nice job of denying this as much as possible. This tank got left alone into the middle of nowhere.
He's all out there alone, like on the radio, like, hello, where are you guys?
There's no one over here, guys, over. I've got this on lockdown, no problem.
I can see creep, over.
There's something flying over. Oh my God, oh God.
POV, you're the guy driving that tank. That is scary, man. Does get picked off. I feel like ByuN's lost a lot of tanks just here and there throughout the game, where he hasn't been able to get up that huge tank number that you want to be able to really siege a position and kind of get entrenched and take an efficient fight.
Yeah, it's definitely been a bit difficult for ByuN in that regard. Going into the Ghosts now, though, will give him a better leverage point in some of these engages. Hopefully, that can maybe give some just new ways to take these fights, basically. Snipe, a very important ability in this later game. Cloak as well, once it's researched, to abuse any lack of detection from the Zerg as well. So that will definitely, that'll basically give ByuN a big power spike as this continues on once he gets that Ghost count going. But like you said earlier, the Lurker transition well on the way here for SHIN as well. A power spike of his own to use, of course, since those Lurkers get extremely deadly once they get in high numbers.
Yeah, both these guys have so many upgrades on the way here as well. We see 3-3 just finishing up now for ByuN, as well as personal cloaking for the Ghost. That one Lurker does get sniped. The rest of them burrow, unburrow, try to move in a little bit more. ByuN microing as best he can here, trying to kite away from this Ling Bane. He's hanging on here. The Lurkers didn't really get involved in that fight. But they will reposition over here to this base over here. A Widowmine waits to greet them. They're trying to get out alive. If ByuN could pick all of these off, that would be really nice.
I love how he tried to use the SCVs to like body block them and trap them.
Yeah.
That was actually kind of cool, but a totally ballsy move. Thankfully, the bio is not quite low enough to where we'll just all die to those Lurker splashes. That would have been really embarrassing if he tried to kill those and then all the Lurker splash kills them anyways. But SHIN, again, is always the one trying to take the initiative in these fights. And that one, I think he really went a bit too much. It felt like he was really reaching for that engage off creep. And like you said, it got away from the Lurkers. The Lurkers weren't actually able to get their shots off. He was trying really hard to get them involved in the fight, but it really didn't end up working very well. A very forward base by SHIN as well, trying to take any amount of real estate on the map for himself, as ByuN tries to limit the creep spread on the over on the left-hand side. And we'll see if SHIN is able to make anything with the Nidus also going into the main base, totally deflected.
Yeah, I love this play from SHIN, getting the Nidus, so I'm going to go to threaten Lurkers going into the main or any of the other bases. ByuN, though, is set up beautifully for the late game. There were just 5 CCs and now 4 orbitals in production. Another 3 CCs. ByuN is going to have so many orbital CCs. Look at them all, dude. He also has the fusion core. He's been adding in these liberators 4 at a time now. Going to get the range upgrade. There'll be good harassment as the Zerg army is at the front. And yeah, I really like ByuN's transition here into the late game.
Is this Mario that I'm watching?
I know,
like,
right?
This is insane. Like this is the type of play that I expect out of Mario to be going into this super turtly late game, just full stop. ByuN is not shying away from it whatsoever. He's really setting himself up for a ridiculously long game, as the Baneling wave is just absolutely insane right now. But a massive mine shot. Oh my god. It's not going to prevent them from killing off the PF, but it does prevent a potentially game-altering move, as it will be a trade as the Cloaked Ghosts end up turning the tide for ByuN.
Yeah, he gets the base, but that's not a problem for ByuN right now. He has so many CCs, he can easily replace that. The real threat here for SHIN is these Nidus Worms going down in mineral lines just so brazenly. If units get out of here with Lurkers, they're going to be difficult to deal with. There is a Liberator actually there, which could just scan and pick off any Lurkers. But ByuN is playing so well right now, going to be able to push the front right now, clear out some creep. There's just a bit of creep in his mineral line there as well. Both these guys really going for the super late game here. I love it. This gold base a little bit vulnerable to the Lurker, hits from the other side, so we've seen some congestion there.
Yeah, we'll be trying to, SHIN should be trying to maybe pressure that just a little bit more if he wants to. But actually, you can see right here, if Mob was even pointing out, the Liberator range vision nerf is actually coming into play right here. Not able to get much damage at all there, as the Liberator does just get picked off, unable to see very far, apparently now. They've lost their glasses. They can't see very much.
Yeah, dude, we saw that with Bunny yesterday, 2 days ago, where he sieged Liberator on the mine, but he was just out of vision range, like you say. And these Terrans, maybe they're not quite used to the patch yet. Obviously, they will be pretty soon, but that can sometimes be a factor in the early days of a patch. This base, which was, I don't know if you ever really expected to mine here, it's so close to the Terran base, will get picked off. And a Spire coming out, as well as an Infestor. Possible transition here.
And a nuke is about to finish as well from ByuN. I love it when these Terrans go for nukes in the late game, man. It's extremely interesting. That drone just had the craziest day of its life. It's going to be able to tell a great story, surviving that massive bio army. But it actually turns into a hatchery. Okay, never mind. That's going to die eventually, I assume. But anyways, the army is full sending it on this side of the map. Really wants to keep control of this area. Doesn't want to let ByuN just take this base for free. So will try to get any sort of real estate that he can over here with the majority of his army as he tries to set up more Niduses in the main bases, but that's going to get killed off pretty easily as well. I do like that SHIN is trying with these Niduses to really just, again, stretch the attention of ByuN as much as possible. But unfortunately, it's really just not hit the mark just yet. We'll need to wait a little bit longer to get something like that. It's actually interesting looking at the unit tab right now. This army is almost pure Bane Hydra. It's kind of a wild
a couple
comp.
lurkers there, not too many. The Bane's going to roll in here.
What?
The spread is really good from ByuN. I don't like this fight for SHIN at all. Maybe he can get the PF and back out, but that's not a problem for ByuN. He has so many CCs. He just made 4 more, by the way, before this fight. I think he's up to like 15 CCs or something crazy now. He's making more. Like, this is really insane. I would love to see how many CCs he has by the end of this game because it's out of control.
Yeah, it's actually insane. The unfortunate part for him, though, is that he's not actually in control of too many bases. So even though he's got so many CCs, you can see SHIN on the income tab on the bottom there. It's like he's still eclipsing him in income this entire time. The thing is, though, is that over time, this will mean that ByuN will be able to get more resources later on in the game, whereas SHIN is going to mine out faster. So that's why he's trying to get all these resources so quickly as SHIN. He's trying to just gobble everything up while he can to try and just end it before ByuN is able to actually outlast any of this and then take up all the resources later on. Oh, I love this.
Yeah, the other advantage of having so many CCs is you can have a much lower worker count, right?
Yep.
Because you can use mules to supplement the mineral account, but never mind that. SHIN is coming in again.
Fungal!
Oh, Fungal on all the ghosts. Will the Banes connect? They're rolling in. He picks off a decent amount. Very nice there. The CC is still under construction. Picks it off anyway. That's a good move here by SHIN. So many overseers flying overhead right now. The Liberators trying to get the liberation zones down on the lurkers here. And SHIN is starting to make a lot of progress, actually, I feel like.
Yeah, that was a great move from him. I love that Burrowed Infestor to get that massive fungal on a large amount of those ghosts for ByuN. And that Infestor's even just sitting there. Oh my god, just barely. Wait, what? Okay, never mind. Oh, he used a second one. Okay, I was like, that first one definitely didn't hit. But anyways, finally does kill that off. But a massive swing here for SHIN is he's able to kill a base and a large amount of the army. That's the thing that's been faulting him in every one of these fights, is that he gets a base, but the army doesn't actually get killed in any of these engagements. But this time he's able to get both of them. And that's now swinging the army sizes massively for him. Huge mule dump as well on this base.
That is a Terran dream right there. So many mules. Doesn't matter if you lose workers when you have that many. These workers, right? The lurker's going to burrow in the main here. There are some units to try and contest them, but I'm not sure if there's enough. We lose sight of that. I think right now the game's going to come down to there's actually not, but you can't see the ghosts. So eventually they will clean them up. SHIN rolling in one more time, Gemini.
Oh my god, that is so many Banelings as the mules are getting used as body fodder basically at this point, and SHIN will roll his way into a Game 1 victory. That was looking really good for ByuN for a good portion of that game. The amount of defenses he was able to make without really losing much of his army was going to be really good for him, it felt like, but then SHIN finally coming in with such an insane engagement. That one Infestor honestly was the clutch of that entire game, I feel like, being able to get that one money fungal that just blew the whole game wide open and allowed SHIN to really snowball it into that victory that we just saw.
Yeah, interesting game there. I really like this from ByuN. We don't normally see him go for these super late game with the whole tech tree filled out. Nice to see him playing a kind of different style than what we know him for. I think in this game, if he could ever have gotten the top left base and secured that, I think he would be in a good position where he might be able to win the game. But SHIN was able to shut that down, right? He said, like, you can have your fifth or sixth base, but beyond that, no. Like, he took the 3 o'clock. He was taking the top left. So beautiful late game from both players, but SHIN takes it.
I'm honestly surprised, like, when you think about it, the amount of CCs that ByuN made that game, it's kind of insane how few actual bases he had.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like he should have definitely had more. And once, like, one of those, like, we were kind of knocking on it a little bit, how SHIN was only taking the bases, and it's like, well, he could just put another CC there.
Right.
It was kind of weird, because it's like, well, he was still denying the bases, and it wasn't really getting totally spread out for ByuN as much as it could have, as he was also taking those ones on the right hand, too. So, yeah, I guess it really just did kind of work out for SHIN overall. A great showing in the late game here. It makes me wonder, is ByuN going to try and just go for something a bit more early or mid-game focused in this next game, considering the fact that that late game didn't seem to pan out the way he was looking for it?
Yeah, I think that's really his strength as a player, right? The early in the mid-game, the fast-paced, action-packed, micro battles, that's what we know him for. So that might, lean into his style a little bit more. I think SHIN's kind of comfortable with that against that kind of stuff. Well, it's interesting to see the order that he's hotkeying his cameras in there. He had that front base.
Oh, is that what you were looking at?
Yeah, the little red screen.
Right,
but yeah, anyway, yeah, very cool game. Nice to see a good late game TVZ. That's what it's all about, guys. Get these Protoss mirrors out of here. No, I'm just joking.
I love my Protoss mirrors.
I know you do, but I love a bit of TVZ. This is the classic matchup, man.
Yeah.
Man versus bug.
Man with gun versus bug with claw.
Exactly, dude.
Oh my goodness. All right, is this an early? Yes, it is an early pool coming out from SHIN. So a little bit of a shake up here from the Zerg side. Trying to potentially end this a little bit early. We'll see if this ends up being anything super committed. Considering that he's not going for any gases just yet, it looks like that's going to be mostly just basically like a skill check, I would say, just to see if he can maybe catch a fast CC being made on the low ground or something and get a cancel, and then you just kind of go into the mid game with that slight lead or whatever. Or maybe it's even just a defensive play to be like, well, if you're going for some sort of proxy racks or whatever, I can just have my lings out nice and quickly. But yeah, we'll see what SHIN is able to get with this, as ByuN is just going to be going for something pretty stock standard.
Absolutely, yeah. There is the kind of aggressive potential of a pull first, but like you say, I think it's more to try and run around the side of the map, avoid the Reaper. If you kill the SCV making the CC, that's the dream scenario. Slow down the Terran economy. Even if you lose the links to the Reaper, that can still be worth it sometimes. We'll have to see if the Reaper will just beeline across. Now, he's actually going down to where the Lings are right now. But they've taken such a weird path here, going to the side of the map, then back to the center. Really nice move here. He's actually going to get onto the CC. And the Reaper's down at the watchtower. He doesn't see them at all. Really nice move here by SHIN. There's only one Marine, so he will be able to kill this SCV if he wants to. Got one. I like it. He only put one Ling on it. He knows that's all I need. The rest can go up and get the scout off in the main.
Dude, that was so expertly done by SHIN. It looked like he was map hacking. Like that was
someone
insane.
did that to me, like I'd be like,
no
way.
Exactly. ByuN has to
way.
be so confused where these Lings came from. Like he must have just known to the T on where the Reaper could possibly be at any given moment right there, and just accounting for the fact that ByuN might try to go for the offhand scout. I absolutely love that. Unfortunately, he didn't really get the cancel on the CC, was able to get the SCV eventually, and obviously delay this a little bit. So only one Marine and one SCV is maybe not the best, and honestly a pretty good crisis management from ByuN to make sure this didn't go absolutely chaotic for him. But yeah, maybe SHIN looking for a little bit more for that opener there.
I think it's not too bad. Like, you do delay the CC a lot. You expect those Lings to die at some point because they can't get away from the Reaper. I just realized in game one, that's what ByuN was looking for when he sent his Reaper around the side of the map. I wonder if that's a bit of a thing that these guys have done against each other a lot, where SHIN will go for pool first and try to be sneaky with these Lings, and then maybe him sending them back to the center was another mind game if they'd been caught on the outside before. This is what happens when players play each other a ton, right? These guys have a lot of sets between themselves, so really cool little kind of mini mind games there. But I would say SHIN's pretty happy with where he is right now. He's up 9 workers, he's got his 3rd on the way, and he's just going into a standard game from here.
Yeah, I love to see these interactions between these top-tier players. It's something that I always think about just in general, just whenever I play ladder or just any time I just kind of go into a random tournament game just for fun, where I'm just like, I'm usually just playing random people that I don't always play against all the time, but like the extra level that you have to think about when you play the same people every single week or even every single day with how often some of these online cups are and stuff, like the amount of things you have to vary up. What strategy do you pick? Like, when is a strategy overused? When do you throw in something you've never tried before? It's like, I can't even I honestly can't comprehend the amount of mind games that you have to think about when you're at this level. And I think it's something that is a little bit understated overall when we just analyze some of these pro players and stuff. It's like, I'm always always very interested in all how that works and like what they're actually thinking about and how much that goes into how much of a factor that goes into whenever they're choosing their builds and their moves and everything.
Yeah, it really is interesting. SHIN actually has quite a lot of Lings here. He hasn't just droned to the max. He's made quite a lot of units. Going to try and find a little blind spot here. Send some Lings into the natural. The rest of them go to the main. The door's open. The Lings run in. They get on top of these Marines. Okay, that's it. It's just game.
The SCV! The SCV was blocking the depot. He couldn't raise it.
So
and that
painful.
loses him the games. Talk about mind games. I wonder if that's one right there, where SHIN just kind of knows there's this little opening sometimes where he can just throw in some random links. Like, hey, maybe he saw that in a previous game one time. It was like, hey, maybe I could just try to make a random group of links, throw them around the map. Maybe they can get in.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, this is too many lings to just defend 2 or 4 Hellions.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
going to be making a move here, but it was quite a little bit of an off-time thing, especially after the pull first. Maybe as a Terran, you're not quite ready for it at that moment. Really nice move there by SHIN, and what a contrast to game number 1.
Bro, that's insane that the SCV denies. Like, literally,
Yeah.
I'm looking at that, and I heard this. I heard the depot raise. I was like, oh, okay, well, it'll be some good damage, but he's not getting in the main at least.
Right.
But then only one of them was raising. I was like, oh my god, what? How is this even possible? The SCV blocks it. That literally defines the entire game. If that SCV doesn't block the depot,
You're still
that
in
game
it.
continues.
Yeah.
You're going to get some damage, but at least you deny the main base, and you're still going to be able to keep on going. So that's actually insane, which means Hero versus SHIN is going to be the winner's match of the day. And that also means that my illegal act pattern recognition continues on, as SHIN will continue his streak, the most important part of this whole result.
You were right, Gemini.
Thank you
called
very
it.
much. I am so smart. Thank you. I know.
Always right. But yeah, that winners match looks amazing. Hero versus SHIN will be an excellent game. Can't wait to see that. And in the losers match, we will have Gerald versus ByuN.
Yes, it's going to be another tough one for Gerald, but I'm really hoping that he can maybe bring something out that we're a little not used to, maybe something unexpected. But yeah, it would be super sick if he can do anything in that lower bracket.
What also is unexpected is the Patreon doing so well. Thank you guys so much. Please consider signing up to the Patreon at patreon.com/revivesc2. You guys are what are making this tournament happen right now. We have various tiers where you can support the tournament. You get various perks like being able to vote for maps, players. We've had some really cool maps this season and last. I've been enjoying it a lot, so please consider heading over that.
Yep. It's because of you guys that we've got some of the map pools that we're going in. We got some of the players getting voted in. So, yeah, please be sure to check that out. And also, please be sure to stick around because we got more StarCraft coming at you as the RSL Season 3 continues after this little break.
What else can you do when Zaun is being so aggressive there with the blink? Game number 2 is going to be on Ultra Love here. Do you think the same strategy is going to work as well here?
I don't know if he's going to do the same thing. I wouldn't be surprised, actually, if he just goes for 4-gate blink again, but does it in a way that's not meant to try and just, kill him right away, because I feel like Cure, this game at least, will try to do something that's a little bit, more overall defensive, maybe just going for a solid Raven opener after the 1-1-1 instead with much faster tanks instead of going for the cloak and stuff like that. Ravens generally can be pretty good on the defense with the auto turrets, and they can also still throw out some on the other side of the map too if you want to. So a generally versatile opener from a Terran player. Wouldn't be surprised maybe if he tries to go into something more like that a little bit. Does go for a reactor onto the barracks as well after the singular Marine. So there's still a couple varieties of things you can go for with this type of style. So we'll see what Cure really wants to go before we dive too deep into it. But, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised overall if we have a slightly similar... Oh, wait. Oh, my God. I didn't even notice.
Adepts.
I was yapping. I didn't
He
even
was
notice.
yapping, dude. Meanwhile, we have 2 Adepts coming out. So this is going to have even more aggressive potential. Possibly, we're going to see him move those across the map. As Cure, you don't want to get your CC delayed again. You want to get into a kind of normal mid-game where you get to be the aggressor at some point, right? Like, that's what Terrans like to do. They like to push out on the map, and you try and slow them down as the Protoss. Right now, we do see the Adepts leaving, and Cure, does he have a bunker
No,
here? He does not have a bunker.
He's skipping it.
Wow.
So Zaun did this earlier in the season against one of the Terran players that he played against. I think it was Gumiho. I can't remember exactly, but he did go for this, and it was very strange because it didn't seem like it really did anything. And again, I'll point out that he's doing it in a way that makes it look like this is just a single Adept over for now, but then he reveals the second one, split firing those shots absolutely perfectly, and then moves the weakened Adept out. That was unbelievably perfect. control by ByuN on that initial opener. And now this is going to be so awkward because you can't really get down this ramp reasonably. And then there's going to be, assuming stalkers coming and reinforcing this. Yes, there is one walking down the middle of the map here. So it's going to be very difficult to actually get down here. A cyclone is going to have to be made to be able to defend against this. And this is doing much better than it did last time he showed this, because last time there was a bunker.
Right.
But this time it seems like he's actually just able to take full control of the natural.
Yeah, being a little bit greedier, skipping that bunker, it does make you more susceptible to these kind of things. Right now, he can't make SCVs from the natural because they'll just die, obviously. But once this Cyclone comes out, he should be able to push this back. Already started up the SCV now because he knows the Cyclone is finishing. But this is already some nice damage here for ByuN, like a very nice early game.
Yeah, no, this is delaying Cure completely. He just cannot mine from this natural. Eventually, like you said, once the Cyclone comes out, then you have full rain to go down. But ByuN is going to try to overstay this and actually kill the Cyclone attempt. I mean, he will, but trading all of those units for that is, that doesn't really feel correct, in my opinion. I feel like suiciding the Adepts, I think, would have been an okay play.
Right.
Going full on with the Stalkers was a little bit much, in my opinion, but you know, ByuN's the pro player. I am not, so we'll see if he's able to recover from that type of a move. Looks like he's actually missing the move now, and the drop is already in his base.
That's in his main base. The Stalker's going through the middle of the map. Don't see it. He has only 2 at home right now, so he's got to control his Stalkers really well here. Try to pick off the Marines before they get healed. They do get to the middle line. Going to start to pick off these probes. Okay, he gets 2. It's not bad. He does get out with all his with his medevac intact. These Stalkers were coming back, so I like that decision. But you got to go back to the ByuN, right? If he'd just retreated after he got all that damage done, he would be in an amazing spot right now. But as it stands, Kira's back in this game.
Yeah, the 2 probe kills is actually kind of significant at this point, considering how low the probe count is. You do have to cut a little bit to be able to do this build. I haven't studied it perfectly because, again, it's a totally new random build that ByuN is doing, but I believe you do need to cut some probes to be able to get this out. So to lose just even a few here is not what you want, considering you're going into this game assuming you're going to have full tempo control by going for that early aggression. You're not expecting to suddenly have a couple probes being killed off here and there.
Right, he does have the 3rd Nexus coming down behind this, so he will be able to catch up in the probe count, and it's actually going to be Charge coming out here, and I think the Robo's finished as well. We're going to have an Observer come out, so he's going to be going into a lot of Zealots. Do you think this is kind of a response to the mech play we've been seeing recently? Like maybe you want to get ready for that, maybe you want to get your Immortals out from the Robo, just having the option at least, you know? Obviously it's very normal to get Charge in this matchup, but yeah, it is a nice thing to have. These Stalkers at the front right now just going to try and see when the Terran does move out. One Marine.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're going to go into the winners match here. A PvZ. It's going to be Hero versus SHIN.
Yeah, we got the mad scientist Hero against one of the strongest Zergs in Korea right now, SHIN. It's going to be an amazing game, honestly. I'm really looking forward to it.
We do have a bit of a situation here at the RSL with the Protosses doing too well. So Hero could advance here, and hey, good for him. But that's another Protoss.
That was so unsincere.
That's another Protoss
Good
here.
for him.
We have 2 Protosses that have qualified for the offline event. And now in Season 3, we've only had Protosses advance. We're halfway through the groups.
Yeah. I'm already a Zerg player, but now I'm getting even more biased. Like
I've become a Redditor. I think Reddit's actually right this time. The Protosses are doing too well. So let's see what happens here. I mean, I think Hero might even just have an edge here against SHIN in general. But let's see. I mean, I think we need to get a Zerg up there.
We need a Zerg.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and a Terran at this point, but yeah, we will be going to this series. Winter Madness, one of the new maps in the ladder pool, will be our first set. And then it will be Maganatha and Tokamak, some more standard maps that we know and love to round out the series.
Yeah, Hero versus SHIN.
Dude, look at SHIN. He's having such a good time, man.
He's having a good time, especially how that last game went. I'm sure he's going to be in a very good mood. Those Lings just getting in there.
I'd be laughing after that. Like, oh, is that easy? Like, yo,
yeah, just
that's
get in
awesome.
there. Get in there and do the damage. Winter Madness here for map number 1 as our game is loading up. Remember that the winner is going to be advancing to the next phase of the RSL. The loser goes on to the final match of the group. Let's get to it. We've got Protoss here in the bottom right as Hero and Zerg in the top left as SHIN.
Yeah, I'm really curious if Hero will do his kind of interesting wall that he's been doing at the main. But we do see that probe going down to the natural, so it won't be. He's been doing this thing where he makes the pylon in the main and wall in there. And some people said it was to defend against like a drone pool, drone pool with 12 pool, that kind of thing. We don't see it this game. I'm curious if it'll come out this series. Everything looking normal on the side of SHIN, and it's going to be a pylon scout here.
Yeah. And so this probe's going to move across the map, and yeah, we'll see. He's going to be able to come in here and immediately deny the hatchery there. So the hatchery, the second hatch is going to have to go where the third base is.
SHIN didn't even try and take that. He's just like, I mean, he knew the probe was coming, so he just instantly sends that to the third base. Doesn't want to waste any time trying to get the hatchery down, dance with the probe or anything like that. These probes are very used to altering their builds when they have to if the probe disrupts them.
Yeah, it's something we don't really talk about that often, but like on lower levels, this is how you completely mess up a player.
Oh,
it's just,
yeah, it ruins your rhythm so much.
Yeah, like you can throw their build off entirely, and they might end up just all inning because of that. But yeah, at the highest levels, they're able to kind of bounce off of this pretty quickly.
Yeah, one good thing about making them take that third base is the bases aren't connected by creep as easily, obviously. So things like Adept Oracle Harass can become stronger as the Queens and Slowlings try to run from base to base. But yeah, we'll have to see if that's going to happen. The core going down now after the Nexus here. These guys having a little chat, having some fun.
Yeah, and we're going to wait for that cybernetic score to finish up here, and then we're going to see what the definitive tech is going to be coming from a hero here. But you know, there's a lot of different ways this game could go. It does seem like, and you know, again, this is like a new patch, so we're still trying to wrap our heads around exactly what the meta is going to look like. I think the players are as well. PvZs, you know, for a while they were it was a bit more of a poppy matchup. It does feel like it's slowed down.
Yeah.
Like a lot of Protosses tend to turtle. They tend to tech into that sky toss composition. Kind of slowly taking a fourth base and everything like that. So we'll see if that's what Hero's going to go for this time around. But, you know, Hero's also known for doing a lot of really sharp timing attacks. He's kind of the guy that pioneered that aggro stalker style. It's one of my favorite styles to cast, where you have just mass stalkers and oracles, and you're kind of just killing creep and trading efficiently and taking advantage of blink and trying to cut the Zerg down over time with that.
Yeah, long gone are the days of, you know, MC and partying, sending it with these really sharp timing attacks that are kind of all in. He did chrono out this Adept, didn't use it on the Nexus there, used it on the Gateway, so this is nice and quick here. SHIN has 6 Lings coming out right now to deal with this. Will this commit? He might be able to get a drone or two if he does, but decides not to. Confirms the third base has gone down, and this is what I was talking about earlier. It's like a little bit awkward to just position your units, but if and you actually have to make a couple more Lings than you usually would, and have some in the main and some of the natural to be able to deal with these 2 Adepts right now.
Okay, the Adepts are going to run up into the main here. See if they can get any scouting done. I don't know if they're going to be in range to get any of these drones. Just maybe take out whatever Lings you can.
Yeah, no damage done, but you keep the Adepts alive. That's always nice. Force out some Lings. That is good. On the back of this, Hero's going into an Oracle. He'll be able to, you know, try and pick off some workers with that. That double pile on the wall looks pretty interesting. I want to hit that with some Banelings or something, but it'll be fine. Spores going down at a good time.
This is maybe gets the award for the ugliest wall that I've ever
Gemini
seen.
is seething.
This is the whole base feng shui is just off right now with a wall in like that. So he's going to come in here with this Oracle. He's going to try to target down, I think it gets, what, yeah, 2 drones?
Yeah. Not bad, not amazing, but, you know, it's the tax, right? You have to pay the Oracle tax. He is getting his third base nice and quick behind this. He's going to be macroing up, adding on some more gases and going into that Twilight Cancel. And this is what he was talking about. It's going to be Stalkers on behind this.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a Stalker build here. And, you know, Hero's been so good at this. I mean, we'll see if there's any surprises in the build order, but it is looking like it's probably going to be one of those games. And, you know, for SHIN, we don't really see what he's doing yet. The Evo Chamber's about to finish, so he'll probably just be getting... He's going to go for melee attack here. And, yeah, I mean, let's see if this is just going to be one of these games where the Zerg's trying to take a 4th and a 5th, and the Protoss is just pushing and putting on pressure and trying to grind him down.
Yeah, the early +1 melee basically means it's going to be Lingbane Hydra, or you can do, like, you know, Lingbane into the fast Ultras that we see in this matchup sometimes.
Not going to be Roach Ravager or anything
right,
like that.
Exactly. But considering that he's going for a Blink follow-up, we'll probably see Lings to defend that when he's on, like, 66, you know, 3 base saturation. Follow up with the Hydras, maybe go for a big bust in the way that Solo was doing in day 1. That style is pretty strong at the moment with the Bane HP buff, so we'll have to see what he wants to go for.
Yeah, we've had a lot of PvPs here, but I'm curious how exactly... the Zergs are perceiving the matchup, right? Like Solar really, I mean, he gave us a lot of games on day one, and it was pretty clear that like he thinks there's a very specific way he's got to play, and he's also not interested in dragging the game out. Like historically, we've had a lot of PvZs where both sides are powering up, right? And it gets to one of these epic games where like every spot on the map is taken, and Protoss is trying to get this ultimate sky fleet. But yeah, I mean, seeing how Solar played, I want to see if Shin's behavior is going to mirror that. Are we going to have a lot more just kind of timings of people trying to end the game immediately?
Wow, these Adepts actually shading in here, going to be able to get some drones here as well. I think the Oracles are hitting somewhere else. 9 drones going down. That's really nice at this stage of the game, and Hero takes the work lead again. These Oracles coming back for more. Really big damage here.
So, more Stalkers coming down now. Baneling Nest is about to finish the Hydra Den, kind of the last piece of tech to finish this up, is being placed down. And so now we're going to see the Stalker pressure here. Now, he can use the Lings to counterattack here, and that's actually a great way to just kind of deny the Stalkers from getting out on the map and really doing anything.
Yeah, before you have the Hydras out, one of the best things you can do is get the Lings behind the Stalker army and try to cut off the reinforcements, because right now you have no ranged units, right? And if you just fight Lings into Stalkers head-on, the Stalkers gain a lot of value over time before you get your Hydras. So I like this move here for Shin. This base is being targeted right now. He's going to have to commit pretty soon if he doesn't want to lose it. Transfuses are available, though. Okay, he's not going to go for it. Does back off here to the Stasis Ward. And that was set off, but I can't even see what that was set off by.
This is one of the things when you have a map with snow, is it's so hard to see certain things. They actually got rid of a long time ago snow maps in Brood War for this reason. Like, you couldn't even see like pylons warping in.
It's pretty bright, right?
Yeah, it's so bright, but yeah, sometimes I can't quite tell on some of these snowy maps what's happening on the ground.
Oh, it's actually up there. Okay, yeah, okay, now I see it. But yeah, looking like a pretty good defense here so far by Shin. Once he stabilizes and the Stalker numbers don't get out of control, once he has a big Hydra ball, he'll be able to drone up that 4th base, go into the Banelings and look for that timing on 80 workers or so.
Yeah, so the Stalkers are going to be microing back here. The Hydras, you got to be careful. They're not good unless they have Lings in front of them. A nice Ling counterattack. That's going to force some Warpins back over here.
Yeah, if you could get some workers here, that would be really nice. Actually going to get 4 workers and get out with the Lings. So many Zealots here as the follow-up. Charge is just about to finish as well as +1. Hero's time this really nice, but he decides to go home after seeing a unit or 2. Could be the right call. Sometimes you just want to send it, but I like that he decides to pull them back there, not decide to commit without thinking about it. Oh my god, so many Banelings here, Tasteless.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty big hit over here at this expansion. There's no way to really stop this. The Zealots obviously can't deny. Banelings, excuse me. So he's going to come in here. Now, the funny thing is the way the structures are set up, the Banelings weren't able to get most of the probes. And only 6 kills. Could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, he did get 2 High Templar, though, as well, which is super expensive. And they're trying to build up their energy for Storms at this point, which you really need to defend the Hydraling Bane push. These Stalkers still trying to be annoying out here, but I think Shin is kind of stabilized here and not too worried about them right now.
Yeah, the Lings and the Hydras are going to come down here. It's going to be the Zerg's turn pretty soon to try to do damage. Remember that there's no 4th base here for Hero. He's going to have to try to hold this off, and it's going to be tough. Like you were saying earlier, Sturgeon, the Templars were killed off here. He's going to have to recall
trapped,
this.
Right? Yeah, they're going to have to recall
but
here.
the Hydras are going to deal so much damage here.
Yeah, actually 4, 5, 6. Okay, almost all of them going down. Only a few remain.
I think only 2 actually got recalled. Yeah, that's insane.
Wow.
That's so bad.
I think Shin's in a really good spot right now.
Yeah, he might just win here.
Yeah, there are a lot of High Templar. Hero hasn't been too greedy, though. Like you said, he hasn't taken his 4th base yet, which sometimes the pros can leave themselves vulnerable if they take that too early. The Zealot's going to trade out for some Lings right now, and these High Templar are what we are looking at here. A lot of Storms available right now.
Okay, so we're going to have another big attack come up over here. There's a lot more Templars out, thankfully, for Hero's sake. Hero's also teching into a fleet beacon, so the inevitability of that kind of late game crazy air comp is going to be coming here.
Yeah, indeed. And he's taking his base now. It's a little bit later than we see some other Protosses, like MaxPax take it, for example. And I'm quite interested why he took this base here at the front. I guess he doesn't want to have the Zealots run by the right side of the map, so he's kind of trying to take in his attack path. Right now, Shin looking for an opening, just poking and prodding, trying to see the position of all the Protoss units, so he knows where he wants to send this eventually.
Yeah. Now this new base, it's going to be a lot more exposed than the other third. This is like a map where the first 3 bases you can really turtle on. It's like hard to imagine somebody losing on 3 bases. But the 4th, it's a little bit of a different story. It's very out-facing. And, we got to see We got to see what happens here. This big attack's going to come down right now.
Yeah, it feels like SHIN has so much army right now. Hero has to be pretty careful moving forward like this.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised he was even moving at all. I thought, no, that one of you guys is wrong. If you're both meeting in the middle of the map here.
There's 50 Banelings on the map. You got to be so careful right now. If these High Templar get caught, the game can just end. But Hero's so good with his army control. I don't think he'll be losing anything too silly. There was an infestation pit behind this as well. I would have to see if he's actually going to use that in the game. It looks like he's setting up for an attack right now, Tasteless.
Yeah, he's going to be coming down here now. And the Psy Storms are blanketing this whole area, but there's so much more behind this. Remember, those Psy Storms, they stay up for a little bit longer, but they do less damage. And so some of these units just plow through. And SHIN is going to flatten this base. We have some reinforcements coming in here, but I don't know that it's going to be enough.
Yeah, he's frantically warping in these Zealots here. He does manage to get on top of the Hydras. They're very squishy if Zealots get on top of them. I think Hero's doing a good job defending here, warping the High Templar in frantically. The Immortals standing strong right now. Lings can't commit onto them. This is a successful defense for Hero, and he has a Mothership popping out real soon.
Yeah, the Mothership's going to come out. SHIN, you know, he did a lot of damage, but he did not succeed in wiping the base out.
Right.
And as long as the base is there, you're kind of okay. You're okay trading army as Protoss. The Mothership's going to be extremely helpful in assisting and defending here. And so Hero kind of plows further on into the game. And SHIN is going to wind up for another huge attack.
Yeah, I'm curious why he made that infestation pit. We don't see him going to Hive or doing anything with that right now. We'll have to see if it comes into effect later. Right now, he's actually going to be the one defending as Hero's moving out on the map. He's got a couple units in the center here, some units moving down the left side as well. I think he's sharking around, trying to make sure the Zerg's not being super greedy here, and I'm curious if he'll actually want to go for this or not. More Zealots warping in. Okay, 2 Zealots run down there and see the base. And now he's on creep.
Yeah, he's going to move up here. And, you know, this is kind of crazy. I really didn't expect that it was going to be Hero with a push after this. I thought it was going to be him trying to survive the next attack. He is going to take the hatchery out. This is insane.
Yeah, the Overseers weren't ready, Tasteless, so he couldn't actually engage that army with the cloaking coming out of the Mothership. Really nice timing here by Hero.
And honestly, a lot of these Banes are being wasted on Immortals. That's like literally the last thing you want to hit with a Baneling.
Yeah, indeed.
This is insane. What?
That Mothership is so weak
I'm sorry,
now at HP.
I almost like don't understand what I'm seeing. I guess I've never really quite casted something like this before.
Oh, nice surround with these Hydras, though. Does actually pick off that Mothership. I think all these Protoss units are going to go down, but SHIN's lost so much here in that exchange. And carriers are coming out behind this as well.
Okay, so that was a pretty big win there for Hero.
Yeah.
I didn't imagine that he was going to be able to do that. You know, it's funny because the Mothership is such a slow-moving unit, but yeah, if you don't have Overseers,
right?
Yeah, you just have to take it.
Yeah,
you just have to watch your base.
You just gotta hold that one.
Yeah, and so, I mean, right now it's 4 bases for Zerg. It's gonna be 5 for Hero here.
Yeah, he's in such a good position right now, and SHIN actually lost a bunch of drones in that exchange. Down on 57 right now. His economy is kind of not where you want it to be as a Zerg player, and Hero up in the 70s, adding Archons, adding upgrades, going into carriers, which eventually you'll need Corruptors for or something like that, so got to be careful with these High Templar, though. You don't want to get these you don't want these to get picked off. The carrier has arrived, and SHIN sees it and says, "No, thank you. I don't want anything to do with that." And GG's.
What a weird push that was. It was like 3 Immortals and a Mothership and an Archon and like a Templar.
And some Storms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was just like,
that's all I need, apparently.
Yeah. And it's funny, you know. I think we're all still trying to get used to like the new patch, and sometimes we have these moments where I go, "This just does not look like what I've seen before."
It's kind of like what with Max Packs the other day, right? Like he did this counterattack after holding the Hydraling Bane timing, and the Hydraling Bane just doesn't scale too well eventually once Protoss get their like, you know, huge number of Storms or capital ships available.
Yeah. Beautifully done by Hero. It's funny because he did do that Stalker style we were talking about, and it seemed like SHIN was holding it,
right?
And then he had his opportunity to try to basically obliterate that 4th base, but you know, failed in the end. And then we had this. I don't think, you know, sometimes you have a game when you can see that it's like the player conceived the game in his mind and it went according to plan. I think that was sort of a weird, unique situation where Hero went, let's just run across the map, and if he's not ready for this, I can punch out a hatchery and get back home, and he did it.
Yeah, I keep thinking back to Hero's 4th base timing. Like, we see a lot of Protosses going for a really quick 4th and try to hang on against Ling Bane, Hydra, but then you're spread out in so many places. but by delaying that base a lot, he made it much easier for him to defend like in the beginning, and SHIN didn't even commit with it. Like the time that you normally go with Hydra Link Bane, he didn't send it because the Protoss was still on 3 bases.
Yeah.
But then Hero took it a bit later and was still fine going into the mid game, or kind of towards the late game.
So we're going to go into game 2 here. SHIN needs a win, or he's going to be going to that loser's match.
Yeah, indeed. The map here is going to be Maganatha for game number 2. Hero as the blue Protoss in the top left, and SHIN as the red Zerg in the bottom right.
So we have this drone coming out here. He's going to take his second base. No probe deny here this time around. You can see he actually sends the drone out a little bit further ahead to just check that.
Yeah, SHIN will be feeling good about that. It's always nice when you don't get Pylon Scout blocked by the Protoss. It just lets you play your build like a little bit more optimally. It flows better. It just feels nicer as a Zerg player. Obviously, for these guys, it's not the biggest of deals. You know, Hero saves the money by not sending the probe out that early. Probably will still scout at some point. And it's going to be a standard hatch gas pool and the gateway going down for Hero.
So, you know, in that last game, I mean, Hero kind of able to bring his own, the flavor that we've seen before into this new patch. It's funny when we see these big attacks that the Protoss is trying to hold, because Storm is so different now.
Right.
Like one of my big takeaways with Storm is that like now you can be hit by it and then like run out of it.
Right.
Right. Where like before,
Yeah.
and you know, look, Storm's always been kind of a hard thing I think for Blizzard to try to balance around, right? Because like the issue with the previous Storm is like you can't avoid it.
Right.
They click the Storm on you, like you will take damage.
Yeah.
So now what's happened is we see these kind of elongated storms. But in some ways, like, and I can't tell if it's better or worse yet. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think it's kind of like situational, right? Like
Yeah.
sometimes if you get a storm on a big group of low HP units, like Lings or Marines or something, it doesn't do as much damage as before. But sometimes when a big Zerg army is trying to run through like a choke point or something like that, and you can throw a storm in it, it can zone them out for longer than before.
yeah, it's definitely more of a zoning tool. Like I was watching that big Zerg attack up there, and I'm watching just Banelings like roll right through the storm and then continue to hit their targets. And I'm thinking, well, that literally didn't do anything, right?
The roaches in storm, like they're not too bothered. Like they can sit there for a minute and still be, you know, pretty healthy. But it does last a lot longer. Sometimes if you have like lurkers, for example, burrowed, and the storm goes down on them, it does more damage eventually. But yeah, the spell's changed and it's altered the matchup quite a lot.
Okay, so in this game, it's going to be that Stargate again. We'll see if the Twilight Council comes down, and he's going to get a Void Ray this time. Usually, now historically, when I see a Void Ray, I think, okay, this is going to be pretty generic. I'm going to clean out the Overlords, and I'm going to use this to defend my bases. Style of play, but now the Void Ray is pretty fast.
Right.
So we've actually seen them go Void Rays and then actually run across the map with them and do damage. So let's see what kind of game this is going to be.
Yeah, I just want to point out he didn't probe scout at all. So this Adept is the first time that, you know, Hero has seen SHIN's bases and what's going on. It is the Void Ray follow-up, like you talked about. We saw Max Packs use those to great effect in Group A, able to pick off Overlords, even cancel the 4th base a few times. There's Overlord trying to run away. This is like a horror movie. Like, you can't get away from the Overlord, from the Void Ray. It will find you eventually.
Yeah, and so he takes that out. And it's going to be that quick 3rd base. Now, I think whenever you see a Void Ray opening with just the one Void Ray, and by the way, I thought this might be something different. It looks like this is just literally that old build. You can have any kind of tech behind this.
Right.
As far as I can tell.
Yeah, you can branch out in a few different ways. We do see the Twilight Council going down. So he may just go back into Blink. Adding 3 gates right now. Okay, we'll have to see. He's actually not making probes right now, Tasteless.
Yeah, he's going to do a really sharp timing.
Okay, here we go. He's cut probe production at 38. One more gate! He did it!
6 gateways, no probes. That's what I'm talking about.
This is going to hit like a truck, Tasteless. It's going to be charge. It's going to be zealots. He's actually resuming pro production now, which is pretty interesting. But he cut for a really long time there. And when you see the 3rd base as a Zerg, you probably think, okay, I'm safe to drone up a little bit more, maybe into the 50s or something. But
yeah,
if you don't see this coming, you can just lose the game outright.
Yeah. I think he just has enough money to make a few more probes. But I think the plan is to basically just dump all this into zealots. He's going to attack the gas. And I don't know. This is so funny.
He's still making drones Tasteless.
Okay, so I've never, ever actually seen anybody, like, focus down a gas geyser.
Yeah, that was really...
So I think I really have seen everything in StarCraft now. I'm trying to think... I've been a StarCraft player for 26 years. I don't think I've ever seen somebody sack a unit to kill a gas, but I think this actually kind of makes sense.
Well, you're not gonna have roaches or hydras.
Yeah.
Like roaches are the best response to this, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't have gas, you can't make them.
Yeah.
It's kind of genius.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody focus down an extractor before.
I haven't. I don't think.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Normally you think of Void Rays going for bases, right, or queens, that kind of thing.
You know when you like try to show somebody StarCraft and you see them do something, you go, "Oh, that like literally doesn't make sense what you're doing." Like, you should just actually never do that. Never lose a Void Ray to kill an extractor. Actually, I'm like, okay, wow, okay. So the Zealots are going to hit hard. There is a forge being made behind this, which I find a little bit odd.
Yeah, he's like sporadically making probes as well. It's very confusing, this build, but he's going to send it now. The Zealot's going to split, a couple going to the natural. So many Zealots here going to trade really well against the Lings. Even more coming in. The Oracle will add some firepower as well. Zealots in the natural. This is looking pretty rough for SHIN right now. Big Stasis Ward goes down, and the third base is in shambles.
Yeah, there it is, GG.
That's it.
The timing worked. I love it.
Wow. What can you say? He did it.
That was a great game. Good timing attack there. I mean, SHIN wasn't ready. And let's not forget, we saw somebody focus down an extractor.
We've seen it
and
all,
it worked.
Tasteless.
It's funny because like you kind of think you've seen everything in the game, and we're so used to the way that the games look. That was so interesting that he did that, and then it totally paid off.
Yeah, less gas, less roaches, less hydras, whatever. Like, they can only make Lings, right? And guess what's good against Lings?
A Void Ray's
charge lots.
A Void Ray's not cheap either, right?
No,
like
it's
so,
not,
it's
yeah.
like to weigh that out and then to go, yeah, this actually makes perfect sense. Let's take out this one extractor. He'll only be able to make Lings,
right?
Which my Zealots are going to be fine against. Cool.
I mean, it works. What can you say?
Yeah. It's just funny. I mean, this is why I love StarCraft. Is there's always some kind of new, unique situation you're going to see.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So this is where we're at right now. Hero survives, giving us thank you God, 5 Protosses.
Did you say a Protoss went through?
I wouldn't be happy unless I had enough Protosses to count them on one hand. And so Hero, let's see if there are any Protosses that don't advance in this. Maybe
Can
Gerald,
we get Gerald through?
Yeah, let's get
dream.
Gerald. Let's actually. The thing I didn't like about StarCraft, if I can just really be honest with you guys, is that there were 3 races and not 1. And so we're fixing that now. We're fixing that. We're going to just have... We always knew the aliens were going to win. Okay?
I mean, the lasers, dude.
Yeah.
That wasn't fair. Lasers against bugs.
It's not fair. Yeah, the bugs, they're like animals. Okay? The bugs are never going to win. The humans? No. I'm sorry. The aliens are going to win. Humans are weak. So, guys, by the way, if you are a player in our... if you played in any of our qualifiers, you are allowed to play in the LCQ event. That's live in these. I was just talking to a pro gamer last night. I was at dinner with some of the pros, and one of them did not understand this was actually in person at our offline event. That's day 1. So if you're in Korea, come do that. If you want to fly in and participate, you can. Our offline event is going to be awesome. Yeah, we have tickets for sale for that as well at tastelessthreads.com. So, yeah, definitely sign up for that, guys. The sign-ups are going to close here, so don't be that guy. If you're a pro, let the other pros know.
Don't be late. That's what I'm saying. Don't miss the bus on this one. You want to be there. You want to attend. It's at the big place near Gangnam. I love that name for the venue. I was just saying before. Like, really, you get what you expect, right?
Place, the small place.
It's the big place.
Guys, we're going to go to a break. When we come back, we are going to go into our 4th best of 3 for the night. We will see you soon.
It is 2-1, right?
No. It's 3-1.
Is it 3-1?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's 3-1.
I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah,
sorry.
so was I. Sorry, I said 2-1, and I was like, no, wait, Zan won the last game. Yeah, so we are here 3-1. The first set of the day does go to Zaun. What a strong performance by him.
Yeah, no, that was just completely clinical. All of those games, completely clinical. It was just, game after game, very quick, no crazy long macro games or anything. Just each player just coming out with a very decisive attack, just going right on in. And honestly, I don't know, that was just kind of unexpected from Zaun. I wasn't actually expecting him to come out that hard. I thought that Kier would put up a bit more of a fight considering the fact that he did so well against Creator. I mean, SHIN was a Zerg player, but still, he blasted SHIN 3-0.
Right.
It felt like Kier was really on his game to just kind of go forward into the finals at this point. But yeah, Zaun really put it up to him.
Yeah, we talked about favorites, and I actually mentioned all the other players except Zaun. and then he ends up showing up looking so strong today. I was really impressed by his defense in this game. Defense makes championships, guys. Beautiful play from Zaun. And yeah, he will move on to the winners final, where he will play the winner of our next series, which is going to be Classic versus Maru.
Oh yeah, I'm very excited for that one. And I'm excited for you and to see you on our YouTube. I would love to see you commenting over there. Go ahead, take a look, go follow us, go subscribe, whatever it's called. We want to try and get the YouTube algorithm.
Subscribe.
Yeah. We want to get the YouTube algorithm pumping. So yeah, we got all the VODs coming up over there. We keep it at a nice length so that way you can watch everything at your leisure. If you're busy with work, school, all your stuff, taking care of kids, whatever's going on. So yeah, we would love it if you guys can just go ahead and subscribe over there. It would be super sick. But we will be going into our break for now and be returning with the next match, which is going to be Classic versus Maru. Don't miss it. Some more RSL coming up.
Go inside. Go inside. No! 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 Ah! Oh! Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Oh, God! Ah! Oh, my God. Oh! Oh!
Welcome back, everybody, to the RSL semifinals, upper bracket semifinals, I should say. We're going to be going into our second match of the day. The first one was pretty quick, to be honest. Not too much happening. It was a couple very decisive games between both Cure and Zaun. Zaun coming with a nice 3-1 victory, and so now we're going to be going into Maru versus Classic, which I think is going to be the highlight series of the day. I'm very excited for this one. Very curious to see how these two play out. They have not really matched versus each other much since, I think you said DreamHack Dallas it was, so that was even before this new meta came out with the Fast Storm and everything. So I really want to see how Maru actually plays against it, against Classic specifically, since he's kind of the one that pioneered it. It seemed like in the group stage he was pretty keen on going for the mech stuff too, so perhaps he might bring that back out as well.
Yeah, Maru actually has a 75% win rate in this matchup right here, but Classic has leveled up so much recently, and with the changes in the meta, I think he looks super strong right now. Like you said, he did lose tomorrow at Dallas DreamHack. He did lose in the GSL this year, but I think he's kind of reinvented his game this year, and I think he's going to have a really good shot in this series. I don't think the games are going to look similar to the first series of the day. I think we'll see some longer games. Hopefully we'll see some longer games. I think Cure managed to get a 30C in just one of those games, and then it promptly died right afterwards to a time-in. So I'm hoping to see some more macro, some different styles coming out of here. We know how Classic likes to play. He likes to get Storm and sit back and let the Terran come to him and just get that insane economy. That's the style he's known for. We'll have to see if that is going to be on the cards here as we load into map number 1 on Ultra Love.
Yeah, Classic really does love to go for just the more passive styles, just waiting to engulf anything that really comes his way, like you're mentioning. He's not really one that goes for any of these 4-gate blink switch-ups as often, I would say. Definitely not for that. Definitely not going to do that 2-gate.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are going to go into the losers match now. It's going to be Gerald versus ByuN.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough matchup for the Protoss here. ByuN has definitely had the upper hand versus him in basically all their other matches that they've played, so it's not going to get any easier for Gerald. He had a rough go at it versus Hero, and ByuN is going to be basically just another Titan that he's going to have to try and slay here.
Yeah, I mean, let's see what Gerald can do. I'm kind of rooting for him, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, being in Korea and casting just, I've casted a lot of the same players, like a lot, But having Gerald here, let's see what he can do. I think it's possible to beat ByuN. Problem is, ByuN is just such a strong player in general.
Yeah, I'm just kind of analyzing their rooms here. It seems like ByuN is just the full-on just white backgrounds, and then Gerald is basically the same, except he also
So
exercises.
if I had a background, I would just have like a bench press with like all the bars on either side. Like people just go, "Oh my God, this is such a giga chat." I just
That'd be perfect. Just have like a I don't know, one of the pull-up bars right
pull-up
behind
bars
you as
right
well,
there.
and it's like in the breaks you're just doing a couple pull-ups and everything.
exactly. I still need to get a green screen of just my wall with holes punched in it. I think that would just be too funny.
That would be awesome.
Okay, so we have ByuN here in the bottom and Gerald here in the top. And let's see what exactly these guys are going to bring us here.
Yeah, I don't expect anything super insane from Gerald. It's going to be probably just totally standard stuff from him. He's just going to try his best to see what he can get with it. He's not really someone that does insanely cheesy things. He's generally someone that likes to just play it normal. He has like a couple little, things that just kind of makes it his own style, but generally just follows the meta as much as possible. He's not going to try to throw out a random proxy gateway or a proxied Stargate or anything like that. So he just wants to try and get into a solid, stable position for him that he finds himself very comfortable in.
So we've got the probe coming out now. Remember, the loser is out of RSL.
OUT out.
Yes, in the final season of the year here. Gerald has tried to qualify several times, wasn't able to make it. He's finally here now, but I mean, there's no denying it. This is a really tough group that he's in.
No, yeah. Welcome to the RSL, buddy. You get Hero, you get Shin, you get ByuN. It's like There's not much other. There's not many
GSL
other
GSL All-Star lineup.
Yeah. There's not much of a worse group you can get put in for your first season at the RSL. Maybe swap out Shin for Raynor and then I don't know, ByuN for Maru, and then it gets a little bit harder, I guess. But like even so, I don't know. It's pretty rough. Let's be honest. So every map is great here for Gerald. And it's going to help boost his confidence in the series overall. And I just went and said that he is not really someone that's going to proxy anything, but this probe down here is looking like he might do something.
For you, Gemini.
Oh my God.
Well, hold on.
He might just do a second scout with
Gemini's already regaining status here. Okay. Looks like he could have been right after all.
Nice. I'm so smart. Holy shit.
Oh my God.
We'll scare off that Reaper, and it is just going to be the secondary probe scout coming on in when the Reaper goes across the map to get a double scout. And we'll actually confirm that there is a second Reaper coming out. That's actually some pretty nice information to get as a Protoss player. It might throw him off just a little bit, because sometimes when you see that, you expect it to be a Reaper Hellion opener, but it's actually going to be double Reaper into Widowmine drop anyways, which is a bit interesting. And so Gerald might be expecting something else, but we'll see if he's going to be prepared for this. But at least knows that there will be 2 Reapers on the map and needs to be aware of where those could potentially come from.
Okay, the Reaper's going to come in here, and Gerald doesn't take any losses. He just slides the probes over to the side. The Stalker comes down. The Reapers are going to have to back out now. So we're waiting to see what kind of tech this is going to be for Protoss. But for Terran, I mean, we got the 1-1-1 setup here. It looks like he is going to go for some kind of a Widowmine drop, maybe some pressure in the front.
Yeah, I don't expect it to be anything insanely committed from ByuN so far, as the Widowmine hidden under the starport will actually deny the hallucination scout from getting the entire full scout of everything. So that could kind of leave Gerald a little bit in the dark when it comes to potential follow-ups to what ByuN is going for, but he did see the majority of what's useful there, seeing all of the extra buildings coming up. So I don't think he's going to be, just like super scared that anything is going to be coming at him. Basically, he'll be pretty much okay. The double Reaper is going to get thwarted away as well, so that way that third base can get thrown down. Blink is on the way as the medevac with 4 Widowmines in it is going to be boosting on into the main base, right into the hands of a couple units from Gerald. Oh my God, he almost blocked it.
Okay, doesn't actually get a single hit there. It's very hard to get the Widowmine out. You need to get something here. Okay, so that's a disaster.
Yeah, that was not great from ByuN.
It's hard to, I mean, you literally can't do worse than that, but that's crazy to not even get one probe.
Yeah.
You know?
It is at least denying mining for quite a long time, and it is quite annoying as the Protoss when that does happen, because you feel like you defend it so well because it doesn't actually kill anything. But even just looking at the graph, like you can see how much it spikes. It is annoying. It does kind of mess up your build, of course, when this does happen. So despite the fact that it was held very nicely from Gerald, ByuN basically did the best that he could. I love that he tries this, by the way. He just tests the water. He throws the hallucination over there to see if ByuN forgets to hold position the medevac, and so it would just barely move slightly closer to get the last volley with the Stalkers. But ByuN, very diligent, was remembering to hold position that medevac, so that little trick could not quite work. But I do like that Gerald actually tried it.
And if things go according to plan here for ByuN, this could be actually a pretty short game. It looks like he's setting up for an attack over here. He's got 3 barracks. He's getting the add-on here for the factory as the Liberator pops out. So, yeah, I mean, he could be moving out. I do think this is a map that's a little bit harder to push for Terran, just because the Protoss can just take the entire top. You know, you don't have to expand towards your opponent. But let's see what happens.
Yeah, I do find the Liberator a bit interesting. You don't normally see such an early Liberator in this matchup, just for these random, like, 1 Liberator mineral line harassments. It's something that was happening, you know, many years ago. It was more common, but generally Protoss players are more aware and just can defend and react nicely enough that it's not really that big of a deal. Trying to get a little blink into the main here from Gerald to try and snipe maybe a tech lab or just a couple units or an SCV or 2, but well defended so far from ByuN. Nothing going to be given here until the total end of the attack. So looks like we'll get a reactor, which is kind of nice. So that's going to deny one of the medevacs. That's actually much more impactful than you might think. Only having 1 more medevac in this fight is going to be really nice, although this timing with the Widow Mine and the Liberator at the same time is going to make it very awkward for Gerald to defend all of this, as the mine will also burrow into the 3rd base. Paying attention, though, we'll be able to deny it yet again. But it will just keep loading back up into the medevac. God, ByuN is so annoying with this stuff.
Well,
man.
it's funny because it's like, okay, like, that is so much lost mining time. I think sometimes people look at these drops and they think, well, like,
oh, thank God
you're not really getting that many workers, so like, why do this at all? And it's like, because they're not mining in that time.
It strains their attention too. That's the amount of time you have to spend to make sure that it's not hitting workers. Like you don't accidentally put them back too early and that stuff.
I mean, there's always going to be this asymmetry in certain engagements in the game, and Widow Mines are super punishing. Like if you don't actually pay attention, you'll just lose all your workers. The push is coming out. The Stalkers tried to shave off a little bit there and didn't really succeed.
Oh, the Templar dying. That's actually so critical. Right as Storm finishes, he wasn't able to get anything out of that Templar. Now only 2 of them, and they both get killed off by a tank splash.
That's insane.
Oh my God, the game is over. You can't defend this without the Storm. That's insane that he actually got that. There's nothing.
That's it. That's it.
Oh my God.
GG.
Look, even in the camera at the end too, he knows it. It's like that is just the most insane way to lose a game. I can't believe.
Just sniping the Templar with the tank. That was crazy.
I didn't think they were in range anymore. That's so ridiculous. Oh my God.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't hold off the push without the Storm, so.
Oh, dude, the ways that Gerald is losing these games today is
painful,
heartbreaking. You gotta feel like, sure, we've been memeing that there's a lot of Protosses winning in our tournament, yada yada, and like, you know, he's a Protoss, but it's like, dude, some of these games, it's like,
they're rough losses.
What the hell?
They are rough losses for sure. So we're gonna go into Mothership here for map number 2, and fingers crossed here for Gerald. I think ByuN made the game pretty easy for himself. The Widow Mine harass was really annoying. A lot of lost mining time, and you know that adds up. The combination of that and then sniping the Templars, it's like, yeah, this game literally could not have gone better.
No, it was so good. We thought it was a really nice defense at first from Gerald on the initial Widow Mine as a fly lands on my nose. Sorry,
was there a fly in here?
Yeah, it like shocked me. Like actually landed. I felt. I was like, oh my God, what the heck? Sorry. Anyways, yeah, no, it went really nice for Gerald there at first, but you know, ByuN just again similar to Hero, just picking up every little possible weakness that he can find and using it to just immediately win the game is just ridiculous.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go into game number 2 now. Remember, the loser is out of the RSL. So we're going to need to see Gerald win 2 games in a row here if he's going to do it. Otherwise, ByuN is going to power through and then go up against the likes of SHIN.
Yeah, man. A rematch for ByuN versus SHIN in the Deciders match is looking pretty likely at this point. Gerald's going to need to bring everything to the table in this potential last map of this series. Mothership, a great map to do it on. Obviously, a 3-player map new to the pool. Very interesting to see what kind of stuff can come out of this. We've seen some pretty cool late game games on this map in some of the other tournaments that have been going on with it. And it does lend itself to some pretty fun matchups. So I'm curious to see how it plays out in our RSL season, as talking is very difficult, apparently.
That was crazy. What just
you.
happened there?
I don't know, man.
That was so funny. Yeah, let's see what kind of game we're going to get here. I think ByuN made that game pretty easy for himself. I'm always excited when I get to cast newer players, you know, who've been trying. The top echelon of StarCraft to get in there is so hard, you know. And it really is dominated by just a small handful of people. That
Yeah.
I'm always excited to cast somebody that I don't get to cast normally. So the scouting probe is going to see nobody's in the bottom spawn. This is Command Center first into Barracks and Gas.
Yeah, and this is ByuN honestly just taking the map and realizing, hey, I can potentially get away with something a little greedier than what you can normally do on the 2-player maps. And the luck has gone his favor. Gerald did not scout his side first, and so he will be getting this information as late as possible. And so ByuN will basically be getting away with this fast CC in a situation, in a matchup that you don't normally go for this. This is not a standard play whatsoever.
Yeah.
You almost never see it outside of these 3-player maps.
When I saw the build initially, I was like, oh, is this like a TVZ? What's going on here? So he's going to come down. The probe is going to be able to kill the SCV. Maybe not.
Micro.
But very annoying here. Looks like this. The thing about the Command Center is right when you think it's going to be done, the SCV's off and the building builds itself. You ever notice that?
Yeah. That last little bit just kind of all goes together.
It just goes up, like all the little pieces slide into place.
Yeah. Oh, he tries to get that other SCV, but unfortunately the Marine popped out right on time. So nice micro overall from ByuN to keep his SCVs alive. We'll be going into the factory afterwards as well. So he's going to be trying to go for some tech regardless of the fact that he went for such a fast CC. Normally, when you would see this build a long time ago, you would follow it up with 3 racks in total just because you have so little units early on going for the fast CC that you feel like you need to just have as much stuff as possible to defend. But ByuN is going to be cutting even more corners, trying to go for a fast tech after the fast CC as well. So we'll see if Gerald can punish this a little bit. He's going to be throwing his Stalker across the map, but a couple Marines should be okay. He's not going to just lose the natural or anything, but no bunker means that it will allow the Stalker to poke away here and there.
Yeah. So the Terran can't really take full control of his low ground. Probably not until the Cyclone's out. He's even making his SCVs that come out. He's rallying them up into the main. Excuse me.
Yeah, the double Stalker's definitely really annoying. If the bunker's not there, then the Marines do get shaved off very quickly, so it's nice for ByuN that he's respecting this basically as much as he needs to, because the SCVs would fall quite quickly. And since you already went for such a fast CC anyways, it's not the biggest deal that you're not mining off of it with every SCV right away. It'll still give you a good eco boost. But it's definitely an annoyance that he has to deal with at this point. But the Cyclone being out means this will basically be the end of this little poke.
Yeah, there's no way to get in there and do any more damage with that. Excuse me. So we've got that blink about halfway done. And what I'm looking for right now is from ByuN is there going to be a third CC, or are we going to see a big explosion of barracks come down?
Yeah. Yeah, both potentially an option here for ByuN. I'm kind of surprised.
Oh, I'm sorry. He already has a second Rax. I don't know why. For some reason, I thought he was on 1 Rax. Okay, so it's more and more likely that it's going to be a 2-base play.
Yeah, or at least like a 2-base into a delayed third,
Right.
which is, you know, also pretty standard overall. Doesn't actually catch that medevac with what I believe is is that the Cyclone in it? Yes, it is. So we will try to just throw this Cyclone across the map and maybe get a probe, maybe even get a sentry. That force field to deny the Cyclone is kind of funny there, as it can just get picked up by the medevac. But this is now kind of awkward. A single Cyclone actually getting 2 probes is way more worth it than what you'd normally see.
Yeah, better than a Widowmine drop, right?
That's so true. Yeah, that Widowmine didn't do as much.
And you get to pick it up and take it back out, right? Normally when you put the Widowmine there.
Oh, sick. That's actually so good for Gerald. Unfortunately, the Cyclone gets out, but it doesn't really matter. So yeah, a very nice pickoff. Was tracking it really well, knew exactly where that would end up. And ByuN not quite paying attention, just expected it to get home. Does get a nice pickoff there.
Yeah, so actually that worked out really nicely for Gerald here. We've got more barracks coming down. And I mean, I don't see a CC yet. We'll see if that push is going to come out. The Liberator's almost finished. It does feel a little bit like the last game, right?
Yeah, he's definitely kind of doing similar plays overall. He's setting himself up for this. Only having the single, only the single Liberator and nothing else to go along with it will be not the most effective harass, especially since that Adept actually scouts it right away. So if Gerald was paying attention, he should know that this is coming and will have Stalkers in preparation. But since he was able to kill that medevac early, that means he's able to have so many Stalkers at the front to pick away at this army as it goes across. So that early drop defense is really kind of leading itself towards a better possible defense from Gerald with this attack. He did not go for the super fast Storm this time, so he's going to be going more on the gateways. And since he, again, saw that Liberator fully prepared, he's looking very nice in this mid-game. That was risky.
Like, don't go in there! So he backs up. It does feel like Gerald is probably sandbagged ByuN enough. Okay, he's going to... I was going to say, there's not enough Stalkers to warrant trying to blink in and kill that. Like, you would lose all your Stalkers. So it's too bad he lost a Stalker, but he also did realize, okay, this is not a move I want to make. Storm is coming down, and we have that third CC that's later. But I don't know that ByuN's going to be able to push all the way across the map.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's really trying too much either. Knows that the Stalkers are around. Unfortunately, these Zealots do get kind of caught out, which you don't normally want as Gerald. He actually kind of expected the army to move out a little bit more, I think, and was hoping to get a little bit of a backstab.
He's bleeding off a little bit too many units here.
Yeah. It's a bit unfortunate. The Storm will be coming out anyways, so he will be going for that regardless, just slightly different timing, I think. But overall, we'll still be getting a relatively quick Storm. But ByuN is not trying to go for a big attack. And you can see Gerald really scouting for this as well, sending hallucinations in the middle, sending his Blink Stalkers to the top, seeing if any of these attack paths are getting occupied by ByuN. But he is just going to be sitting back, taking that third base, and going for a drop instead over on the bottom side.
Okay, so the drop's going to try to come down here now. He's going to be looping through the bottom. Psystorm's done, so is Combat Shields. And it seems like ByuN has kind of retracted everything on the map here. He does not seem to be wanting to do anything push-wise. He's just going to do a little bit of harass wherever he can.
Yeah, the one medevac was spotted by that pylon, so ByuN is not going to go directly into that fourth base. We'll just choose to kill that pylon and then back up a little bit. Doesn't want to overextend with the units and lose them for nothing, so we'll just take what he gets, deny a little bit of map vision, force another pylon to be made there for later, and if it doesn't, then that means that he can always just abuse that in the future. So we'll just hide these over at the top and just kind of leave them there for now. But yeah, like you said, ByuN is really just sitting tight. He doesn't want to go super aggressive at this point. And you can even see Gerald, he's like really trying to find anything. He's like, really, you're not attacking me right now? You're not even trying to get any map control or anything? He's trying to get some sort of backstab damage with some Zealots here and there, but unfortunately, he's not really finding anything, and ByuN is finding his attacking waves before he's able to do anything with them, and he's just kind of losing units here and there. ByuN is being extremely cost-efficient overall in this early mid-game.
So we can see now, you know, the map is really going to Gerald. He's got a ton over here. ByuN looking very small. He's just on his 3 bases. By the way, like, it's a, you know, if you look at like at the bottom spawn, that's a long way to push.
Yeah.
I don't know where exactly, when ByuN does attack, where he wants to go, because what Gerald's doing is he's staying on the outer perimeter here.
Engagement over in the middle side of the map here as ByuN has found his location to go. Will be able to deny that medevac on the bottom is Gerald, but this big push at the top is where he needs to focus now, as it's a pretty large army that's going across here. He's got 3 Templar full of storms to potentially thwart this army, but ByuN looks like he doesn't actually want to engage either. He's just, again, picking off any amount of vision, just forcing attention around the map and then just bringing it back home. Doesn't want to overcommit and doesn't want to just overextend where he feels like maybe it's not worth it. To maybe he might just get, like, you know, bombarded by storms here and there where he can't be seen. So really taking this, this has got to be one of the most passive ByuN games I've seen.
I feel like it's gotten so passive. I'm not used to it.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think he didn't want to overextend. But at this point in time, Gerald is ticking all the endgame boxes. And I think that Gerald can definitely win this game at this point in time.
Yeah, no, he's looking awesome. Like, he hasn't really taken damage overall. He's deflected the couple times that ByuN has tried to poke at him extremely well. His map vision continues to be excellent. He's setting himself up as best as he can. Double upgrades, double Colossus going to be coming out too. This is the best Gerald has looked in the entire group so far.
Okay, so right now, Gerald's in a position where he can kind of just stay back. In some ways, I feel like, at least in the previous patch, if I looked at a game like this, I'd say, yeah, Protoss probably wins like 90% of the time. All they got to do is basically outlast the Terran, and they're going to be fine. And so, I mean, I think that's all he's got to do. Beautiful attack, and ByuN getting completely wiped out.
Yeah, that was actually kind of weird. I mean, ByuN, I think he was just trying to go for a drop, but then kind of noticed the Zealots were waiting there. But Gerald was just already on the way over there and was able to just capitalize on that strange army movement from ByuN. So able to get a good number of units, some medevacs, even I think a Ghost or two was in there as well. As I believe, that's a second Ghost Academy being made by ByuN. Is he going to try to go for nukes with this late game situation? That'd be very interesting.
I mean, I guess he could. I don't know how strong that's going to be. Okay, so we got Gerald pushing in now, and he is just destroying all this stuff over here. But if he stays for too much longer, let's see, you know, the tank shots are going to be too good. So ByuN ends up fighting him off. Maybe an overextension. Nice storm there.
Yeah, that felt like a little bit too much from Gerald. It was kind of awkward the way he was moving his units. The storms didn't quite connect in some of the main ports there. He's trying again with the right side as the left starts to harass, but this is a bit of an overextension. All of his units are getting killed off over on the right-hand side as he tries to just left-click a PF. This is not what I'm expecting to win the game at this point as Gerald. That's a big miscalculation on his part, I feel like, as he's just completely lost his entire standing army.
This is painful. This counterpunch could be fatal. I think that, you know, one of the worst ways to lose a game is when you attack in at the wrong time.
Yeah.
And, you know, all your hard work, all the, you know, trying to take as much of the map and tech up, it's all for nothing, right? If you throw that army away. And I feel like a lot of times when we get into a state of the game like this, it's really up to the Terran to figure out how to win. The Protoss just has to figure out how to not lose, if that makes sense. And I think attacking in was a mistake. And so now ByuN is barreling across the map with a maxed out army versus Gerald, who is scrambling to get his supply back up to match this.
Yeah, this is really unfortunate for him. He's going to try to do whatever he can at this point, considering he's got basically just some gateway units. He's got 3 Templar and a Prism. He also went for that Robo-Bay transition, but never actually got any Colossi out. So that's going to mean that his army is extremely brittle at this point, with really nothing to go for. Again, just massive amount of Zealots is the majority of his army. And he's not even in a position where he could try to base trade or anything like that. His units are not in the right positions for it. He's just going to lose 2 bases for free without really getting any damage done. He's going to try to catch some retreating units, but again, misses the timing. The units already made their way back. The probes are in the middle of the map. They're dying right now in the middle of the map, 14, 15 of them. I don't know where these probes are going or why they're at the front of the map right now, but for some reason they are, and he has just lost them. I guess actually the reason, I think he's sacking them because he made too many, and he can't max out.
Yeah, he might actually have too many there.
It's so funny.
Yeah, you know, he can weather that storm. I mean, there's plenty of energy on those medevacs. And I don't know where Terran wants to go. I guess he's going to have this kind of split push going on. He's got this small squad down here, Marines, Ghosts, and Marauders. But the bigger army's up here, and he's just going to poke out these Nexuses. And there is, like, literally, as far as I can see on the map, no counterplay here from Gerald. Not that he can do that right now, right? It's hard to get over there and harass the other bases. Terran is just powering through. Terran has so much money, by the way. Like, you're going to be maxed for a long time. The moment anything dies, you can immediately remake it. And he's just starting to chew his way through the position that Gerald worked so hard to take.
God, dude, look at that resources lost at. That's actually insane. 10,000 resources less from ByuN is honestly, that's like one of the biggest differences I feel like I've ever seen in a 15-minute macro game. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Storm's not even able to get off at this point. They're just getting sniped and killed off by every little bio unit that is on the field. ByuN is going to retreat for now since most of his army is elsewhere on the map, but he is just picking off bases left and right, man. This is looking extremely dire for Gerald.
Yeah, he's just going to target down this this Nexus over here. The probes immediately have to leave. And, I mean, what, Gerald is now down to 3 bases.
That's wild.
That's insane, dude, versus a 5-base Terran.
Dude, he's looked so tilted in the webcam. I feel so bad for him.
Well,
oh my God.
It's sad because he, you know, I feel like when you're trying to learn a matchup, you know, it's one of the best feelings when you do, like, the perfect macro game.
Yeah.
You've got all your bases up, you got all the tech up, and you're like, okay, we're here. It's my turn, right? Like now I get to I've worked so hard on trying to navigate this game. I've gotten to this place where now it's been in PvT, I think in the current state in the meta, I think that's where the Protoss wins, right? Is then the Terran goes, okay, the Protoss is actually too big to fail.
Yeah.
But I think the mistake he made was he just attacked in. And you know, you would be amazed how ahead you can feel in a game of StarCraft and then lose it. Like, you could be eons ahead.
It's crazy.
It's wild.
It's really an unfortunate thing, and I'll maybe mention it a little bit once this game ends, but for now, Gerald is really trying to get as much as he can. The thing is that his army is still really large. He hasn't really lost too many units in some of these engages, so his army is quite big. The problem is that what it is mostly, I think, zealots in the army still. Yeah, it's 25 zealots, which, if they can get on top of the bio, could still be pretty good. Disruptors do get focused down, and the swell of gateway units will actually push this back for now. So this actually is going to be a pretty decent fight for Gerald. This is the first time he's actually won an engagement in this game. The problem is he going to be able to push through all the defensive setups that ByuN has behind this and all of the economy that ByuN has behind this? Because at this point, this army is going to basically be all that Gerald can get because he's got such poor economy behind it.
Yeah, meanwhile, ByuN's pockets are full with minerals and gas. And I think ByuN, this should be a very simple game to close out, right? He just has to kind of move out, take the fight directly to Gerald, and probably close the game out. And it's, you know, it's unfortunate. You know, somebody might ask, well, I mean, Gerald was so ahead, right? Like, why is it not possible for ByuN to end up in the same position, right? He overextends, throws everything away. Because ByuN's just probably not going to let that happen.
Yeah.
You know, at least from all the games we've seen of him here. You know, he's probably the best player at keeping aggression on without overextending.
Yeah, he's so calculated with his aggression is what's kind of he's made the name for himself in that regard, where he can always go aggressive and loves to take the aggression to the full throttle, basically, but knows when to bring it back and not actually overextend with that aggression. He's got such experience with that that specific style, and he's really showing it really nicely here. I mean, now he's got his whole Liberator transition coming in, going to make it so difficult for the Protoss to engage into these fights. The Disruptors even overshooting the bio at some points. The Blink Stalkers try to get to the backline of Liberators. We'll be able to clear it up for the most part since the bio actually is pretty low in number. Gerald takes another pretty decent fight. There's really nothing on the ground here from ByuN. So we just said that he doesn't know how to overextend, and then he does.
That's insane. Yeah, he threw that army away. I think ByuN's still going to be okay. He just spent all that money that he had banked up. But hey, maybe Gerald is back in this.
Yeah, no. Once you take a couple good fights, it does start to really swing towards your favor.
I didn't think that was going to be possible this game. That's crazy. So it's still up in the air. I think Gerald's now back in this game.
Yeah, it's still a long road, of course, considering the fact that ByuN has so many CCs all over the place, and he's got a lot of PFs is another problem, because Gerald might be taking some good fights here, but the problem comes when he has to actually destroy bases, because if there's so many PFs and you're already in like a really low eco kind of scrappy game,
right?
Taking one fight and then killing PFs with that army becomes extremely difficult. It's so cost inefficient sometimes to kill some of these PFs off. And so Gerald needs to make sure that he can retain such a large army that he can actually then start knocking bases down, because so far he hasn't been able to do that.
Yeah, ByuN now is in a position you basically never see. I mean, he has half the map. Another big fight comes down over here. Disruptor shots are huge, and they thin that army out.
We'll be able to get some nice ones, but unfortunately there's not much else behind those disruptor shots. The rest are actually up on the top trying to deal with some of the bio over there. But yeah, like you said, there's so many bases that ByuN has actually taken at this point. He can always drop mules down at those spots as well, even if he doesn't have SCVs quite yet. We'll kill off one of those bases, does Gerald, so that's quite nice. But again, you kill one of them, there's 5 more, apparently. It's like, well, you got to start getting more headway than that as Gerald. But he's doing his best as to stay in this game as possible. I literally thought this game was going to be over like I don't know, 5-10 minutes ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy we're still in this game. It's been a real drama, honestly, unfolding in front of us. Like, I don't normally cast games that are this back and forth, you know. Usually they're close for a long time, and then somebody gets the edge and wins. But this has really been like a pendulum swinging back and forth here. ByuN's on the move again, and he is maxed out. In this period of time, Gerald's army has thinned out quite a bit. And it doesn't seem like Gerald is able to put out these fires, and instead he's going to try to do a huge counterattack and hit, as Gemini says, the PF. The planetary fortress.
Is that a bit weird thing to say, calling it a PF?
Yeah. But
Doesn't everyone
time you
call
said
them
it-
PFs?
Every time you said it, me and Ziggy looked at each other like, what?
What?
Is this guy? Yeah.
Oh, okay, sure. I'll take the L on that, I guess. But I feel like I'm not.
You can say it. I'm just.
Now I feel very made fun of.
No, we're all gonna call them PFs now. This is good.
Yeah, doesn't everyone calls them PFs, don't they?
I think I've never heard anybody say
What?
PF in my life.
That's no way. Okay.
I think so.
Okay. Well,
we can start doing it. We can change the meta. We're
sure,
in control
yeah.
here in the RSL.
Let's call them PFs. Let's call them HTs instead of High
Let's call them
Templar
HTs.
too.
Yeah,
yeah,
some HTs.
Yeah, man. Let's
And
do
look
it.
at this I am down here. Woo!
Oh my God.
Casted. I think this game's over. It was a back and forth game, but now we have double the supply. GG, or should I say, PF.
Oh my God.
We're
Yes.
having fun.
All those PFs got
Yeah.
absolutely. Actually,
Yeah.
they didn't get annihilated. They were
Call
up
them
the
PF
entire
tanks.
time.
Why not? Let's go all the way. Geminus 2.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, that was a good series. I liked game 2. Kind of tragic to see Gerald attack in. I think when he had that lead, I don't think you need to. It's funny because I've actually had people ask me this, like when they're trying to learn the game, is like they don't like they get really far ahead.
Yeah.
And then they throw the game away and they're like, what am I supposed to do? And it's like, Dan had this quote a long time ago, and I still use it. Just get more ahead.
Yep.
I think attacking in with everything. You don't have to end the game. The game can go on for another 8-10 minutes while the Terran just runs out of resources and you just block all the attacks.
Yeah.
And I think the mistake he made is he's like, okay, now I'm going to come in and crush him. And actually, with micro like ByuN's, he stutter step microed away, he killed everything, and then immediately ByuN just moved across the map and started whooping ass.
Yeah, you get inside your own head sometimes in those positions as the underdog, and you're like, well, I have to make something happen because nothing has happened.
Yeah.
But then you just kind of end up falling into the trap, and then you just get totally overwhelmed. So it's a bit unfortunate for Gerald. We'll be going out last in the group, but it's going to be a SHIN versus ByuN rematch going into our deciders match to see who will come out in second place in Group C.
Yeah. I'm going to be happy with either of these guys going on. Remember that whoever wins with SHIN versus ByuN is going to be not a Protoss player. And so we will have one of the other two races represented here later on.
Hell yeah.
Guys, it's time to buy some tickets. It's time to call the babysitter and say, can you babysit the baby for December 13th and 14th? And
Maybe a little bit more because we have to fly in there.
yeah, or maybe they live in Korea. They don't. I mean, who
True.
knows? We still have tickets for sale. There is a cap. We'll see if they sell out or not. But we would love to have you come down to the event here in Seoul. It is going to be on December 13th and 14th. So that's like what, literally about 30 days away.
Yep.
So you go to tastelessthreads.com. That's my merch site. It's the first two items that show up right at the top. And yeah, we've got merch that we are also selling there if you want to support us that way. I'm really looking forward to this offline finals.
It's going to be so fun. I can't wait.
It's a pretty big undertaking for us, honestly. Like, I've worked in esports since I was like 20. We've produced live stuff.
He's now
like this.
65, by the way.
Now I'm 100 years old. And kind of the ultimate form of production for this is the live event, right? This is a live broadcast, but there's no audience. There's less moving parts, but I'm super excited to do it. And I think once we do one of these, the next one is twice as easy.
Yeah.
Right? It's all about experience. Mm-hmm. It's all about leveling up. So we hope you come down for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. We're super looking forward to putting that on.
Yeah, it's going to be super sick. I'm excited to see all the nerds in person. It'll be super fun to cast in English to other people that can understand our language, unlike the GSL studio.
Yeah, that was actually, it was a funny thing. It didn't occur to me until I got to the venue before we put the deposit on it. I was like, I guess we can just pipe this out in English.
Yeah,
I'm so used to casting here, but it's not my voice going out. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're in control here.
Yeah.
We can do it.
We're the bosses of our own thing.
We're the masters of our own destiny. We're going to take a break. When we come back, the final match here for tonight's RSL.
takes it. He doesn't want to lose
smart,
it.
Yeah.
So just tries to keep the Stalkers preoccupied until he's got enough units. I guess he's just waiting for the Cyclone and the couple extra Marines. So this is annoying from Classic. I mean, Maru doesn't really want to let this happen. Yeah, he will at least get some. He can't just keep canceling them forever, I guess. I mean,
he's not insane.
Yeah, he's not a dumb person. But yeah, no, he's going to eventually get some of these. Actually, a recall getting forced. Wow. And almost losing both of them. That would have been brutal if he actually did. Yeah, Classic, I guess, overstaying his welcome. Kind of maybe just not realizing, like, oh, there might be a Cyclone.
Yeah.
He just kind of left those there, just kind of forgot about them for a second there. Was dealing with that Hellion, making sure it didn't get into his base or anything. And yeah, unfortunately, forced to recall. That's missed energy. You don't really want to recall at this time. That you want to be chrono boosting.
Right, exactly. You want to. You just so have some chronos. You know, Pros has a lot of energy on those Nexus Gemini, don't they?
Do.
Yeah.
Hell
but
yeah.
He delayed the SCV production for so long there. I feel like that was quite nice. He did lose a Stalker for it. I wonder if Maru will repair the CC or not. Like Pros feel like they don't repair the CCs that much. Whenever my building takes a bit of damage, I always want to repair it right away. I'm like paranoid.
Just total OCD.
No, seriously. Like I'm like, what if it dies when it could have lived on 10 HP?
What if it dies when it's got 95% of its health? Oh.
Even though it's like not possible at this point in the game,
Yeah.
but. Yeah, Mario didn't actually repair it, so it's actually still on orange health. I would have paranoia playing like this. Like, well, imagine if just some units blinked in and took it out, but no, that's not obviously going to be on the cards.
What if a mothership just warped in front of me and just suddenly nuked my arm?
What if a carrier showed up and he had no anti-air? Yeah. But anyway, not going to be the case, obviously. Pretty normal kind of transitions here. Classic going to be getting his third base, and Mario going for a quick third CC as well. Relatively quick in the matchup. He does have Banshees on the way, going to make another one here. And charge coming out, and 2 Forges for Classic.
Double Forge is definitely a throwback. You do not see this much at all anymore. This is a very old style, was pretty common. I mean, years ago. I mean, literally creator pioneered this style in 2012 and won TSL with that. So honestly, a very old style going back super far, but it's been used many times throughout the years, but has not been seen of late. So I think Classic kind of realizing that Maru is just really going mech like every single time and just bringing out some different ideas to deal with this meching style, going for a very fast double upgrade, knowing there's not going to be any super early aggression. It's just going to be some harass. The Banshees, of course, will be annoying, but that's not going to stop you from going into 2 Forges very quickly, and then you go into everything else after that. I like this adaptation from Classic.
Yeah, and it lines up very well, especially against the early third CC. You know Terran can't have a huge army to kill you before the upgrades come out, so you're definitely going to get them online.
Oh, this is cute.
The hallucinated War Prism flowing by there, that's going to give Maru a headache, or maybe a panic attack if he doesn't detect it. But we'll see. Wait, what's he doing with this?
I think he literally just flew it by and was just like, hey, look, I might do this.
Did he see it? Did Maru see it?
I think so.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
not.
Oh, you just think so? Now he thinks it's in the airspace.
Yeah, that's
actually
the idea.
So sick. Yeah. So at any point, like a warp in could happen.
I don't know if he actually saw it though. Is the funny thing. He's not reacting in any way.
That's what I thought.
Or he just completely called the bluff. I'm not really sure, but it's just kind of funny.
Yeah, Giga Chad move. I know that's hallucinated. These Hellions gonna push in here, catch them Zealots warping in. Actually, okay, 1 for 1. Not too bad for either player. Storm is on the way. Classic going to be rounding out his tech. He's going for the double robo here, going to pump out Immortals 2 at a time. That's what he used very well in that first game to deal with the mech army eventually. Maru again his blue flame upgrade as well as a bunch of Cyclones. He's going battle mech here.
Yep. It's generally the style it seems like the Terrans do like to go because it gives you some amount of map presence, some mobility. Just sitting back and just going straight into mass tanks is kind of abusable as a Protoss player if they know how to deal with it. You can do tons of different things. I mean, just big charge or mortal busts will kill it. You can see that and just go super fast tech switch into fast carrier even. A lot of times I do this against meching Terrans that just gotta go straight into tanks and it's completely catches them off guard. And since they give you the space, you're allowed to do it sometimes. One player is already through into the playoffs from this group. We need to get one more to join them. It's going to be either SHIN or ByuN coming in from our deciders match here of group letter C. It's going to be a rematch from earlier on in the day. Sturgeon, welcome back as we come to do the same match yet again.
It's like Groundhog Day, dude.
Yeah.
Here we are again.
Same
Another
players, same
ZVT,
casters.
same place. Will it be the same maps or will they veto some different stuff? that can have a big effect.
True, yeah. I mean, also, I don't expect a singular SCV to block a supply depot raise when a Linkenhorn buy happens again, so that also might cause a different series to happen. Yeah, a bit of an unfortunate end from ByuN's side and from the earlier series. Obviously, we'll be wanting to do a bit better than what he showed in the previous one, and I think he probably will. I don't expect it to end in the way that it did last time. I expect him to put up a bit more of a fight in the second game. I mean, the first one looked great for him anyways. It was a great long macro game. Both players honestly had it at any point, I would say. So ByuN, I think, was maybe getting a little warmed up, let's say, in the first half.
Yeah, I would say so. He looked way better in his next series as well. He looked like he was playing really well. That second game, we saw some weird things like the SCVs rallying across the map and
the probes or
the SCVs. Do you remember they rallied to like where the Zerg? Not in the ZVT. Yeah, like some weird stuff like that happening, and then of course the painful depot not going up in time. These things happen, but ByuN can bounce back and can definitely take this series with a few adjustments. Ooh, it's going to be Mothership for map number 1. This is actually my first time casting on this map. Super excited about that. And then some standard ones to round out the set with Maganatha and Persephone.
Yeah, I'd love to see some more Mothership. I'm very curious to see how this goes on. Obviously, just one of the most interesting maps that we have so far. And then we got Maganatha and Persephone, something we're all familiar with. But yeah, I'm curious to see if SHIN goes for some of the aggression that he was potentially, or that he was going for last time with the fast the pool first, and then going into the big Ling swell as well. That just kind of won him the game at that second game. So Mothership is definitely a map that it's quite large, but since it is a 3-player map, you can't scout right away potentially your opponent. So it's definitely I don't know. There's definitely some chances for some tricks here and there if either player wants to go for it.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious why SHIN decided to let this map go through. Like, as a Zerg player on the ladder, like, I veto this instantly because I want to scout my opponent with my Overlord, right? Like, but you got to guess, right? So we'll have to see if any weird stuff happens because of that. Maybe he just thinks this is a good map for the matchup. We'll have to see. He is scouting in the correct direction right now, which is nice. And yeah, he is in the 6 o'clock position is SHIN, and over in the top left position is ByuN.
Hey, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna? What's the meta gonna be? Are we gonna be saying the clock thing, or are we gonna?
I was just thinking that because we
bottom right, bottom, you know, kind of.
But the bottom spawn, like the 5 or 6 o'clock one, is not really like in a corner, right?
Yeah, but
normally we do
like
top left, bottom right, like. It
is still like the bottom though, right? It's pretty clearly the bottom.
So top left, top right, and bottom.
That's what I've been thinking in my head when I say it. I get always so because when it's not like exactly the right number on the clock, it's so confused. Because like
I'm like, it's 5:30.
Yeah, exactly.
It's 5:45.
Yeah, this is a 5:30 base. This isn't really a 5, and then the top right one is like not really like a it's not a 3. It's not really like a 2 either, right?
It's 12:10. It's lunchtime.
It's 12:10 and 52 seconds.
Yeah. Pretty interesting map, and we'll just call him whatever and see how it goes. But yeah, nothing crazy right now. ByuN going to be going. Oh, he's actually got a second Rax coming down here after the first Reaper. This is kind of what we know ByuN for, right? This kind of style. So I'm glad to see him playing something like this. And I think this could potentially work out much better for him. We'll have to see. And we'll have to see if ByuN's ready for this. If SHIN's ready for this, sorry. This Overlord will actually come over and scout this, which is a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah, because ByuN doesn't actually know which base that he's at yet. He hasn't gotten the scout off, I don't believe. And so, yeah, and this is what I was about to say. SHIN could hide where he is. So he knows now what ByuN is doing and where he's spawned.
Sneaky.
ByuN doesn't. And you can see he's going to the top right first. So that's already going to give a nice little edge to SHIN in this early game opener. And again, another little quirk of how the 3-player maps work out. You can do these little things where you can get the information faster as the Zerg player. And now ByuN realizing that he's gone the wrong way first, realizing, oh god, now I gotta pick this back up. He probably also knows now that SHIN knows. He probably is aware that SHIN can go for that move and hide the Overlord. So yeah, definitely not the best start so far from ByuN, just with the map RNG.
Yeah, indeed. On the flip side, it's going to be difficult to scout the main base with an Overlord at some point. First 2 Reapers coming in. This is always the awkward phase. Before you get Ling speed, you have to kind of deal with this with your Queens, and then if the Reapers dive too deep to try and kill a Queen, you bring your Lings in on creep. Obviously, you can't chase off creep. But it's only 2 racks. This isn't like a 3 racks or 4 racks crazy Reaper all in. There's going to be a lot of pressure. SHIN will be forced to make a lot of links. He doesn't want to lose a queen, though. That's big. You can lose a few links. You don't want to lose the queens or the drones? Okay, just keeping it alive. Link speed is still a way away, though, so this pressure will continue right now. Even a drone going down.
Oh my god, dude. If he loses that queen, that's actually going to be crazy. Wow, losing a queen to just 3 Reapers and a couple drones and some lings. I mean, we were talking about how SHIN had a little bit of an upper hand knowing this was coming earlier, but wow, did he not really seem prepared for that, because ByuN just coming away with excellent micro that we all know him for, and that is just a great way to start that off as ByuN.
Yeah, on the flip side is CC is delayed, you know, a bit more than it would usually be if you only open with the 1 Rax Reaper. So, you know, it kind of balances out. SHIN still has the worker lead. He's not, like, in a lot of trouble. He's actually making 3 Overlords at once right now, which is not ideal, getting supply capped at that 42, the kind of classic one. He's got his 3rd base up, though. He's going to be able to drone like crazy once he gets some free supply here. So I think he'll be fine. 11 in production right now.
Ooh, Zerg moment. As he's trying to get his macro
It warms my heart.
ByuN's going to be going for a Stim and a Raven, of course. We'll be rounding this out. Also, that little Overlord is kind of surprisingly hidden from vision, so that could still make its way into the main base to get a scout off to know exactly what's going on. It looks like he's going to go for that right now. So we'll be able to see exactly what follow-up is going to be going on. We'll see if ByuN is going to be trying to go for something super aggressive or more passive. I mean, he went for the faster 3rd CC already as well, but that did not actually get seen by the Overlord. SHIN is preferring to try and keep this Overlord alive, and we'll be able to back out with that, but not see the full picture here from ByuN.
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult to get into this Terran main base from this angle. He might actually have an open to do so here, and I think he's going to see the 3rd CC, which is huge. It lets him know that he can drone a lot more than if he was just on the 2 bases. I like that he's going for a Raven here. I thought he might actually use it to clear creep once he does do his push, but he's going to fly this to the main base through this airspace here and maybe drop some turrets or something. Like, it's quite weird to just have this hanging out here, but he doesn't want it to be seen by the Overlord. Maybe he's going to drop some turrets in the main as he pushes the front or something, for example.
Yeah, this is something you normally see in TVP. It's something that I'm so used to, having to always worry about a Raven coming out at random times versus my probes, but not something you see as much versus Zerg. So SHIN might not be prepared for this, and he might actually take some decent damage to it. We'll see if that's actually going to end up coming into a big play here in this game. But the Marine attack over on the middle side of the map is going to get started. SHIN is, well, actually, never mind. He's actually backing up to kill an Overlord and waiting for the medevacs, and then he'll actually go ahead.
He changes his mind there, a little Stim to run back, and then doesn't go for the Overlord. Maybe he decides it's not worth the time to...
He's making his Marines do laps over here, man. Just wearing them out.
Yeah, I mean, it's costing them HP as well. Okay, there is the turret. Somehow the Queen's ready for that. I guess the Overlord saw it. A lot of links here. He has enough to defend this. ByuN isn't committed or anything like that. Like I say, he's got 3 CCs behind this. He'll be continuing to power up. But it's nice to force the Zerg to make some units, not go crazy on the drones. And you would like to push back some creeps, Red, which he hasn't really been able to do yet. And we do see the 4th base going down at a decent time as well for SHIN.
Yeah, honestly, great defense, again, from SHIN. I feel like that was also kind of a hallmark of the first game as well that they played earlier today, where he was really able to just be on tabs with everything that ByuN was throwing at him. You know, drops here and there, even move outs. He was always meeting right when it was trying to get set up before ByuN could get any of the tempo. This is the first time that ByuN's able to really kind of get there before SHIN is ready, and so we'll be able to pick off a few drones and that Queen and boost on out of there. So not insane damage or anything, but it's at least putting some tempo in ByuN's favor. Maybe the Raven can come back now in an awkward time and potentially get some drones, but once again, SHIN on top of that as well will be able to send his Queen forward and also have a Spore Crawler in position. Unfortunately, loses that Queen anyways. Wow, turrets have long range apparently. But yeah, not insane damage or anything. This is not game-ending or game-defining at the moment.
Yeah, definitely a lot. SHIN's also thrown down his 5th base now. He did go for the quick +1 armor upgrade, which is really good against these heavy early Marine styles. Obviously, you want to reduce the DPS of the Marines as much as possible. We did see the later 2nd Evo come in, so he's getting his +1 melee now. These Lings will catch the Marines here, force them to pick up. And he's going for an Infestation Pit behind this. He'll probably be heading to Hive. Yeah, looking pretty good for SHIN right now, I've got to say. Nothing crazy's happened, but I like where he's at right now.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. Going to be going into the late game tech pretty nicely here. Loses an Overlord on the right, but it's not going to be insane. ByuN, on the other hand, he's really not been able to get much done outside of that initial Reaper harass, which was doing more than what was expected. He's going to be going in for yet another push here, it looks like, with this Marine tank army. So he's going to try to find some amount of damage here before after he clears up some of these Overlords, getting vision around the map. Another random tank kind of sitting over there like that other one game we had earlier.
Right.
ByuN likes his random tanks, apparently. But the drop over on the right-hand side will be able to clear up some of these units and some more creep if he tries to go for it, as the main army is actually looking more towards the left-hand side to set up a nice position there.
Well, he's actually sieging already very far away from the base. Going to slowly creep forward and try to get some damage done, clear some creep. He's hitting at a nice time before the hive finishes. SHIN has actually just stayed on Ling Bane, so he's probably going to be going into fast ultras or something like that once that hive does complete. So if ByuN can hit before that, that's good for him, right? You know, ultra's super tanky, really strong. And we do see Overlord speed on the way, just filling out the tech here. He's going to be going up into 85, kind of mid-80s drones, so his economy will be booming. I feel like ByuN would like to make something happen before that, you know, economy and tech kick in.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of extra racks coming in as well to line up with this 2-2 finishing. So it looks like, if my calculations are correct, some sort of an 8 rack's going to be coming in here from ByuN as he's going to try to hammer it home. SHIN on top of this army move out will be able to force the lift and get those bio units out of there. But ByuN is really yet to take any kind of solid position here in this game. It feels like he's just kind of always on this edge of the creep. He's kind of trying to bait SHIN off the creep, it feels like, towards these weird tank positions. And it looks like he's going to try finally get that moment here, but SHIN is not going to dig it. He's not going to just continually go for it. He's going to sit back. He's going to let his Lings on the counterattack do the main damage as his main army just kind of keeps ByuN away from his main bases.
Yeah, I like this a lot from SHIN. If you're going to stay entrenched outside just off creep as the Terran player, counterattacks can be huge, right? The Terran army is all at the front. We do see this double drop runner here, going to try and focus down this hatchery. The Lings will get there in time. Trade out, you know, pretty decent trade, Marines for Lings. Another drop comes in here. This is what we know from ByuN, the multitasking. He can stretch you so thin, and eventually you may make a mistake.
Yeah, no mistakes so far from SHIN, though. He's really doing very nicely on this defense. The 8 racks is really starting to come into fruition here with the 2-2, finishing just a couple seconds ago. But it looks like ByuN, realizing that he's not really able to get much of a punching move, will be going for the CC transition anyways. So he's kind of abandoning the full 8 racks all-in style, and he's going to just go ahead and take the expansion anyway, realizing Ultra's already on the field, needing the emergency Marauders to really stay in these fights. And now SHIN is going to be able to dislodge these forward tank positions and try to push ByuN back, but ByuN is fully ready to deny this any further. Really, both armies really kind of just getting stuck at that little midway point between the two sides, not really going much further than that.
Yeah, ByuN making a really nice transition here to the late game. 2 more CCs, like you talked about. 4 Marauders at a time, which is exactly what you want against these Ultralisks with their anti-armor fire. And the only thing he's really lacking right now is ghosts, but eventually he should get up to them. Nice shot by that Widow Mine there. And this tank on the high ground is super annoying to deal with. You got to go all the way around to clear that out. I like the way ByuN's playing this, like kind of positionally, like this is a good place for me to fight if you ever decide to come off creep. And if not, I'm just going to keep poking you and, you know, making bases behind this. We see more CCs. He's got his 3-3 on the way. More Widow Mines coming out. But this is a pretty big Zerg army here, Gemini.
Yeah, that's a big engage coming in from both players. Looks like ByuN kind of overstepped just a little bit. The Marauders got a bit segmented from the Marines, but is able to salvage it. Will be able to run back here. And the Lings also kind of just getting killed off on the rally over there. So not the best engage overall, but honestly, not much ground gained again by either player. It's really becoming a bit of a stalemate in this middle position. Like you mentioned, it's really easy for the Terran to set up their siege tanks with their Widow Mines in this kind of low ground area between these different ramps and whatnot. It makes it very difficult for the Zerg to actually get a clean engage in there. SHIN gonna try to go for it once again, seeing if he can dislodge ByuN from this powerful position, but that tank continues to be at such an awkward position. The Ultra's finally getting around to it. The Banelings finally getting some connections on the units on the lower side of the fight, and it looks like SHIN has finally dislodged ByuN as some more units also go into this third base to try and kill up all the economy.
Yeah, a ton of those Banes actually hit the CC though, and it's not going to go down, so a little bit of a waste there, but he will be picking off workers, doing a lot of economic damage, getting units wherever he can. And ByuN's just got to hang on here and try to get to a huge amount of Marauders, and he'll be able to deal with these Ultralisks. His concussive shells only finished like 20 seconds ago. I'm not sure if he forgot that because he's making Marauders for a very long time. But it is finished now, which is obviously huge. He's going into the Liberators. He's getting a Cyclone for some reason. And the Drilling Claws as well for those Widow Mines. Adding more and more CCs. He's going to look to go to this ultra late game. And the one big difference between this game and game 1 of the last series is there are no Lurkers right now. He's on, Lingbane Ultra. He's adding in Infestors. He does have a Spire as well, so he could go Corruptors for the Liberators or even Broodlords potentially at some point, like Broodlord Infestor. He has some options open to him.
Yeah, and the Infestors are going to start hitting the field as well for SHIN. That was the one unit, if we remember to that first game, that really opened up the game for him. Huge attack on this planetary fortress that he's able to kill off. Can I call that PF? Yeah,
that was professional gaslighting. I just got to say that was insane.
Thank you very much, Steve. I appreciate your support in this endeavor.
The PF goes down. Tasteless is not on the desk right now. We can say whatever we want, Gemini.
Yeah, we're in control now. Screw you, Tasteless. I'm going to call it a PF every day of my life. As the units get kind of caught here at the top, we'll be able to kill some of them. But the Bio actually left without any medevacs, means the Ultras just chew away at them. So 24 SCVs getting killed, as well as a lot of the army. As a singular drop over on the right-hand side, it's going to be able to try to kill one of these bases, but he might not even get that if the Lings get in time, but will be able to get that. So at least a nice punchback from ByuN, and he needs it because he just lost a lot on that big attack from SHIN.
Yeah, he really needed something there. He has lost a lot of workers. He's on 60 right now, but he has a ton of CCs, so the mules will be able to kind of help, with that disparity in income. There you go. We see them all dropped at that base. SHIN retaking bases right now. I think his economy is in a great position in the mid-80s. We see the Corruptors come out now. They'll be able to deal with the Liberators, pick off medevacs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's actually a big... That's actually surprising to me. I thought SHIN wouldn't be that, far ahead in the eco, but that looks really nice. And he's just going to keep adding Corruptors in here. A couple Banelings burrowed just in case. We did see those insane Rhino ones last season. That was hype.
Yeah, I would love to see more of that, and would love to also see more of that burrowed Infestor play, as a couple of them are lurking around over towards the middle side of the map as well. So we'll be able to potentially get some key fungals as we go again to this PF on the left-hand side. We'll be able to kill it off once again. The Bio unit's not quite in position to go for it, and we'll get that killed. And it looks, honestly, the other big difference that we have in this game as well from the other one that went long is that ByuN doesn't seem to have quite as many CCs built in preparation. He doesn't have just those millions of orbitals to just kind of lift up and throw to any base that immediately gets killed off and whatever. He was in not the best spot earlier on in the game, since he had to kind of diverge from the 8 racks, and so he doesn't have that setup as well as he did in the first long game that we had from these two. And we have another Burrowed Infestor coming in with another clutch fungal on a large amount of those bio units and the medevacs to set this up for SHIN to really push this army away, but unfortunately not quite enough to actually push ByuN away from the main middle of the map.
Yeah, big fungal there, but this base right here, I was just looking at this on the mini-map, the 11 o'clock base is really difficult for SHIN to attack, right? You got to go all the way around the top of the map. You can't run through the middle because there's the Terran army there. But he has been rinse and repeating, picking off that PF kind of at the 8 o'clock position again and again. That's really good for him. That's a solid game plan. He sees this PF now. I'm not sure if he knows this base was here or not. There's already a Liberator there, which I really like. It's going to be hard to kill that with just like some Lings or something like that. And they're going to be contesting the middle of the map right now.
Yeah, this is still going to be a difficult position for SHIN to dislodge. This is going to become the new stalemate position, I feel like. It's going to be really difficult for either player to make it across this line. And as you can see, SHIN is really struggling in that engage. That was an excellent one from ByuN. Just really didn't lose anything, I felt like, in that engagement. As 3 Ultras are going to try to make their way to this top base. But with a Liberator also accompanying the PF, it's going to be really difficult, I feel like, for those Ultras to get anything done. But it looks like SHIN is going to take that opportunity to push through the middle of the map and will be able to kill it off as the Bio went to go and save the base at the top. Was this a mistake from ByuN to try and save that because he's lost his forward position?
Yeah, he's still got a good army size, though. It's just kind of the workers where he's down in the supply. I think he will be able to hold on here. It might have been nice if he'd sent the Ultras to the back of the base first, and then when they attacked the PF from the other side, they would have killed the workers at least. It looks like they almost went down for nothing there. Some Spine Crawlers here will deflect these low HP Marauders. I'm not sure what they're doing out here by themselves. ByuN paying attention to everything, though, even picking those up while all this action is happening down here.
Yeah, dude, the amount of attention that these pro players have in these late games to just save every little unit is always so impressive. Random Vikings also killing off some Corruptors that are getting rallied. Medivacs left over on the right-hand side, so things are still getting scrappy. Almost a massive mine shot there as SHIN hold positions to get that micro as precise as possible. Will force this orbital to lift, and again, this base denied as SHIN tries to ransack these forward positions as they are not PFs in this defensive situation. It's just going to be the orbitals, which means it's much easier for him to punch on through, and his army supply is starting to get a bit higher now versus ByuN, who's now crumbling in supply.
Yeah, I think ByuN's done. GG. The army supplies weren't too different, but a lot of that was just medivacs flying around. SHIN finally gets the job done. He was able to take out that PF again and again and again, keep ByuN's economies to something manageable that he can deal with, take these somewhat efficient fights. Not more efficient for him, but he has the bigger economy, so he just keeps trading and trading and trading, and eventually he's able to get the job done. Beautiful game there by SHIN.
Yeah, I was kind of memeing about it earlier on in the series, or in the day, where, you know, the streak of the Lilac ratings,
yeah.
But it's like, for some reason, it's happening again. Like, SHIN is just looking so impenetrable versus ByuN in these series. And like I said before, he's coming off of a 3-0 the last time that they played before RSL today, and now he just got a 2-0 in the first series. He's won the first game as well. ByuN has not won a game against SHIN in a long time at this point. He's not won even a single map. And so now ByuN is probably thinking, it's just like, God, how do I even crack this guy? Like, I can't even do anything. It feels like he's just deflecting everything.
I feel like ByuN's so good in this matchup that we never really see him kind of stuck to find a way to win. You know, he's always taken a game or two in a set, for example. But SHIN's just looking too solid right now. He's dealing with all these different builds. He's been playing different styles. He's played Lurkers. He's played Ultras. He's played a random Link Flood that wins the game like 5 minutes. Yeah, he's really mixing it up. I'd be curious if we see another pool first, that kind of mind game come out at some point. Yeah, very impressed by both players. Like, ByuN's not playing bad. He didn't play bad in this game at all. He played really well. I like the way he played it, but SHIN was just a little bit too strong.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like the only thing that SHIN hasn't thrown out yet is a Muta build.
I'm a little bit sad about that.
I know, yeah, I
want to see some Mutas, but...
yeah, I've been seeing a couple Muta games here and there in some of the other tournaments, and so I was expecting maybe at least one map to have it in our TVZs today. And perhaps this might be the one. Of course, there's still opportunity for it. But, I mean, SHIN has been showing such variety, like you mentioned, that I would not even be surprised if we just see a Muta build this game, because it feels like he's not even just sticking to one particular style.
Right, yeah. He's using the large arrays of the Zerg tools here. But, again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. He could just play what he's been playing so far, and I'm sure he'll do just fine. He's been looking super strong today, and in this against ByuN especially. And we do see, we see a little extractor trick there, just normal stuff. Going to be going for the, no Overlord. So this is going to be a 15 hatch, presumably. Yeah, it's going to be a 15 hatch. A little bit different to going for that Overlord extractor trick Overlord and then getting the hatch gas pool. This can line up some different stuff. We'll have to see what he wants to do with this. I think the real question here is, what are we going to see out of ByuN? Because he's tried late game twice. He's tried, the Reaper opening, which it was okay. He got a bit of damage. You need to get some damage if you make that second Rax, but the follow-up push with the Marines didn't do as much as I was hoping for him. So I'm curious if he's going to do that again. Well, not do that again, but what he's going to bring here in game number 2.
Yeah, I like the switch up, going for a CC first.
Ooh.
I honestly like this because in the first series, in the second game, SHIN went for the early pool.
Yeah.
And so that kind of got that out of the way. Even though it's not the same series, it's the same combined set of series basically, where you have to kind of take those games into account as well. And so it would feel really weird if SHIN is like, well, in game 2, I'm going to do early pool again. Oh, that's just what I do. And so I think ByuN is taking that into calculation and be like, no, you're not going to do that in game 2. Again, that's a little bit too predictable. So I'm going to try and take this little advantage where I feel like I can abuse it, and I'm going to go for a CC first. So I do like the play yet again from ByuN. He also went for the CC first versus Gerald in his PVT. So I like the build variety from both players that they've shown throughout these different series, and I like this specific choice from ByuN in this game, knowing how the previous series went.
This build from SHIN looks, this is some hopium, guys. Don't take this too serious. But this is exactly the way you would start a 2-base muta build. I'm not joking. You know, you go 15 hatch, pool, gas, then you have 2 in it, 2 in the gas until you make your queens, then you add the 3rd one. This is exactly how you play a 2-base muta build.
And to be honest, this is exactly how you would start a 2-base 5-port BC rush from a Terran too. You need that early CC to get the economy rolling.
Yeah. But we don't see the 3rd hatch yet, Gemini. I'm just saying, man. You never know. I play this build a lot, so I would love to see someone like SHIN go for it. We're actually still not seeing the 3rd hatchery yet. Just link speed. Okay, link speed going down now means it's not going to be the one that I do, obviously. But we'll have to see what he wants to go for. On the other side, ByuN is getting his factory. He'll be adding that reactor on. And also a pretty early 3rd CC here.
It's kind of rare that you see a 3rd CC coming down faster from the Terran than the Zerg, right? Like,
well, yeah.
It's kind of funny. SHIN is still yet to put his down. It's surely, like, it's got to come soon, right? Or is this 100 gas about to be a lair?
Well, when you go for the 15 hatch, it...
oh, there it is.
Oh,
wow,
my God,
is
Gemini.
he doing it? What if
but normally you do it before link speed.
Yeah,
it delays your layers so
it.
much to get the link speed first.
Is it going to be like a Nidus Ling all-in or something?
I mean, let's see. Let's see how it goes here. He's going to add the gas. He does get the 3rd base now after the layer. That is also exactly what you do with 2-base Muta, apart from getting the link speed first. But yeah, this 3rd CC is also right on the edge here. An Overlord might just float in and see that. That would be a nice scout for SHIN. He's going to add in some more gases now, 2 extra gases. I'm feeling hopeful, Gemini. I'm feeling very hopeful here. I would love to see it. I think this Overlord did float in and get pushed away by a Marine. It took a bit of damage, and it didn't see the 3rd CC just. That is like a couple pixels off, man.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. As it's going to be a Hellion Banshee opener as well from ByuN, so just some potential for aggression. Yet again, he tried this in the first game.
He's doing it!
Oh my God.
We're seeing mutas, boys. It's happening.
This
is a dream come true.
Dude, SHIN is doing he could do every build. He's just
he can play all the units. He's
crazy.
pretty good at the game, Gemini.
It's pretty sick. That's really impressive if he manages to go 4-0 versus ByuN today with 4 different builds every single time.
Okay, and I gotta say, this is the dream scenario for SHIN, because ByuN is going Banshees. And guess what is good against Banshees? Air units that shoot air, and also a very quick layer, so you can make your Overseer. If you just stay at home with your, you make like 5 to 8 mutas to start with, and then you go back into drones. And if you stay at home with those, with an Overseer, and pick off both the Banshees, which he's invested into as well as Cloak, it can put you really far ahead.
Yeah, this is looking like the stars are aligning for SHIN in this series and in this group, because he has had such a good time versus ByuN so far in all of these games. We'll see if this is able to basically line up as well as it seems like it's going to. ByuN yet to really try to go in yet with the Hellions, and now he will finally go and pull that trigger into the natural. Yeah, plenty of things to defend from SHIN, as there's lots of queens in position. Honestly, not as many Lings as what maybe ByuN was expecting. It felt like he was actually going to go for it there, but like, there's not really that many. It felt like one volley from the Hellions would have killed all those Lings, then he would have been free to get the drones. It felt like he was maybe respecting SHIN's position a bit more than he should. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you don't know exactly how many Lings are there. Like, you see those Lings, and if there's enough Lings to hold the Hellions in place and let the Queens work on them, they will go down. It's one of those split decisions that you have to make, right? Like, you don't know exactly what your opponent has. But right now, we see, like I was just saying, the Banshees come across, and the Mutas are right here ready. This is the dream scenario for SHIN.
Oh my God, that is insane. Nothing done with those Banshees. Literally 0 profit. That's just absolutely ridiculous. SHIN is going to be able to now walk across the map with these 2 Lings as the only thing he's lost in this whole game to a 8 Hellion double Banshee opener. That's ridiculous. Thank God there's a turret here. Otherwise, that would have just been an absolute disaster for ByuN. But the Mutas will be able to shark around and find anything that they can. Will even just engage onto the Marines. Maybe didn't expect Stim to be done, but it doesn't matter because he's just going to kill them off anyways. Apparently, he just knows the calculation that well. He crunched the numbers and was able to just take the Marines on right there, and is able to now snowball this. Going to potentially kill a bunch of these supply depots and supply block ByuN. And wow, this is just swung completely on its head out of nowhere.
Yeah, for a moment there, it looked like the Mutas were on move command, but he does actually just fly over the Marines, realizes he doesn't have the anti-air to contest them, takes out a good bunch of them, and the good thing about this for SHIN is while ByuN's running around with his Marines trying to defend his bases, he's making turrets, he's droned up to over 80 now once these new drones pop. His economy is amazing on 5 bases already. He's got his upgrades on the way, even getting those kind of luxury upgrades like Overlord speed, which give you, you know, so much vision. Got to be careful. You don't want to lose these mutas. They are very precious, quite expensive units. But yeah, he's going to continue to make those. And I think ByuN's in a really rough position right now.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be pretty brutal for him to try and get back into this. He's actually getting a second factory as well with some more reactors, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's going for a bunch of like Widow Mines or whatever on the ground as he's getting the Drilling Claw upgrade at this point, because he's going to need something to be able to deal with this massive amount of Lingbane Muta that's going to start coming across the map. Sees that the Hellbats have been transformed as well, so those are just going to be staying home to bolster the army, but he sees how few Marines there are and just decides to, again, take the fight with the Mutas. He's just picking away as much as possible at this army where he sees he can, and then just kind of juking away from when the larger amount of Marines start to come in. So, yeah, SHIN is really picking his fights well. He's being very cost-efficient with everything, even getting the Infestation Pit to continue this into late game. And he's going to jump on this drop as well. The Medevac can't escape this time because there are Mutas. SHIN is really controlling all of the tempo in all of these games, it feels like.
Yeah, I don't think that Muta trade was the best, but again, it's buying him time. He's now up in the 90s drone counts. He's lost 9 Mutas, which is pretty expensive, honestly. But he's droned like a madman behind this. ByuN's still on 3 CCs. Once SHIN maxes out, and once you have maxed out Lingbane Muta, you can start running around outside the Terran bases and pull the Terran army, you know, one way then another. And eventually, you will find an amazing engagement and just pull the trigger once you're maxed. And you can sometimes just end the game or do a ton of damage. Okay, this Sense Tower will go down. The Mutas picking off what they can, still building them up in numbers. +2 flyers on the way. Once you get +2 flyers and, you know, say 20, 30 Mutas, eventually you can start one-shotting turrets. And then that becomes really scary as the Terran, as that's no longer a viable kind of air defense, anti-air defense. And you'll need something like Thors or Widow Mines to help out.
Yeah, Hive is going to be coming into play here as well for SHIN, so he's setting himself up for the late game very nicely. Going to try to, again, pick off whatever he can with the Mutas as the Lingbane runs over into the middle. We'll be able to deny that. And this actually doesn't have any turrets set up over on this side, this base just yet, so almost had some potential damage, but the Marines will be able to respond in time. Honestly, this is a... Considering the fact that it is a Lingbane Muta game, there's a lot less... you know, brawling happening than I kind of expected. I feel like generally whenever you see this, you see the Terran player really trying to kind of just go full send and just try to brawl with the Zerg as much as possible, and you have these really scrappy fights. But it's really been SHIN just kind of controlling the game the entire time, and ByuN just trying to play whack-a-mole basically as these Mutas go every which way. Turrets dying left and right as well, which will make it very awkward for ByuN because he has to keep putting these back up. Finally, just going right across the map at this point, just trying to kill anything he can.
Yeah, oh no, so many Mutas going down right now. The Marines take out a bunch of them. The count has been almost cut in half there. That's kind of tragic. Apart from that, the game's been an absolute dream for SHIN. Like you say, as the Terran player, you want to be doing pushes, right? You want to trade with the army directly. But you can't when you're on the back foot. When you go for all those Hellions and you go for Cloak Banshees and you don't get any damage done, all you can do is defend for a while, try to get to 4 bases, try to max out eventually. We see the transition now for SHIN is going to be Ultralisks, as well as that Adrenal Glands, and eventually 3-3 once these 2 upgrades finish.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, you're going for Ling-heavy army anyways. You're going to have the upgrades already set, so going for the Ultralisk is a very natural transition in this late game. So ByuN will, of course, need to keep tabs on this as well, make sure his Marauder production is on time to deal with the Ultras that are going to be incoming. Going to have to get out some Liberators eventually once this goes late enough as well. But the Mutas are going to make that a little bit awkward as well, because then you have the anti-air already for those set up. 50 Banelings on the field as well is going to be a very explosive fight whenever that finally does actually happen here, as ByuN is trying to get any sort of map control at this point, as he now feels like he has a large enough army to actually start sprawling across the map here, trying to take a middle position while he kills a bottom left base.
Yeah, more Balins than Marines on the field right now, as we see, which is pretty insane. If you've got a Balin for every Marine and a few left over, that's usually pretty nice. Plus 3 flyer attack on the way here as well for the Zerg, which is, you know, really, really nice on those Mutalisks. Going to be insane damage. We don't actually see him make it anymore, so I'm kind of curious that he went into these. Why he went into these, but, well, I mean, he still has a decent flock, so it's going to help a lot, I guess. And as ByuN here, I think you're just trying to survive, honestly. Just try to get maxed out. Both players have been maxed for a while, so the banks are starting to accumulate. But right now, SHIN's is huge. 4.6k minerals, 1.5k gas. He is set up for a very long game here. Going to move in, pick off a ton of bio that wasn't being babysat. And he's starting to get some damage here, pushing into that base. Will defend this base in the top right as well. ByuN's going to have to come home.
Yeah, these Banelings could get some nice shots as well with the tank splash conjoining it. Will actually only get 4 SCVs, so not the best there, but did kill off a lot of the army and was able to kind of make a bit of a chaotic situation for ByuN, who thought he was just going to be able to go kill that top right base, but then just getting kind of jumped on by the army that wasn't really accounted for. And so SHIN, once again, just responding to what ByuN is doing and is able to come out on top in almost every engagement. Will be able to kill off some of these units on the right-hand side, even gets the medevac loaded up with all the bio, so everything getting killed off there. And now ByuN is forced to defend this position. Once again, he's just getting drawn around all the time where these mutas are coming, and now the Ultralisks really starting to hit the field in large numbers. It's going to make it even more difficult for ByuN in these engages.
Yeah, dude, he had 9 Ultras making it a time then. That's when you know you're rich. That's when you know you've been banking. Oh, this mineral line's actually unattended right here. Some SCV is going to go down. He might even be able to focus that base if the army doesn't run over real quick. It's starting to get weak. This would be a huge loss for ByuN if it goes down. It's in the orange. You could probably get that, but it would cost you a lot of mutas. So he wisely decides to back out. He's going to be remaxing here. ByuN going for a ton of Thors, ton of Widow Mines, turrets. That's exactly what you need against this army. Oh, that is insane. Wow. He's just been ahead this whole game, honestly, since the Hellion Banshee thing failed. He's been sitting pretty. ByuN, I mean, if he can get a big bank and eventually like another base, he has a chance, though, in this game. But it's going to be tough. He's
been really just kind of sticking into this game, like really just not dying. He's just trying his best to trade as efficiently as possible. But this army is just ridiculous from SHIN. The Thors getting killed off, 1 left over. The Mutas staying in the back so they don't get splashed down. Now that they're all dead, maybe he can go in, but it honestly doesn't even really matter. The Ultras are cleaning house on the ground, and now that the bio is picked up, the Mutas are going to try and chase them down. We'll be able to force them over into that bottom position, and this forward base yet again denied from SHIN, and it's going to be so difficult for ByuN to continue in this game if he can't get more than 4 bases.
Yeah, knocked down to 4 bases versus the, what are we on now? 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bases?
Jesus Christ.
He's got 10 bases, guys. Like, even killing SHIN's army twice here might not be enough. You know, well, maybe he doesn't have the gas to remake everything he wants, maybe just the once. But he has got such a huge economy here. He's going to just keep doing what he did before. He got here a different way. He went Lingbane into Fast Hive, Ultra. But we saw him just kill a base, you remake it, okay, I'll max out, I'll kill it again. And the trades maybe aren't always perfectly efficient, but you're just denying the Terran that economy.
Yeah, man, this is just looking brutal for ByuN. He's basically going to have to just get one giant death army one time that can just wipe the army from SHIN more than once over. Like, you have to be able to get such efficient trades as ByuN at this point. But when there's this many Ultras, how do you possibly take a favorable engagement versus all of this Zerg? It's really, honestly, going better for ByuN than I expected, as a lot of the Ultras at the front line do get killed off, but there's just so much more where that is left off. Like, what do you even do versus this much stuff? It's insane. The base yet again getting killed off. The SCVs yet again dying as ByuN once again is forced onto 4 bases as SHIN just walks away with the rest of the Ultras. Sure, 13 have died. He's not trying to be cost efficient at this point. It doesn't matter. He's got the entire map just able to flood endless amounts of units.
He has both gold bases right now. This is just insane. ByuN trying to transition into ghosts. If he could get a decent ghost count, that might be something going in his favor. But these units are all going to be caught here. Okay, actually the Lings flanking around here. All these units going to get picked off. He's going to have to pick up and get out, but there's Corruptors in the air now as well to start killing these medevacs. And Liberators the base. He doesn't even try and save it. He just lifts it, runs away. This is starting to look like the beginning of the end right now, Gemini.
Oh my god, the Banelings are finally going to connect as well as SHIN has 4 maps over ByuN today. 0-1 from ByuN. This is looking like SHIN is really turning the tide into his favor as the Illegal Act rankings once again are going towards him. So that's great. But yeah, SHIN finding his way into the playoffs of the RSL. We finally have a non-Protoss in our playoff bracket. That's just...
Let's go!
That's the biggest victory of today, let's be honest. It's great to see a non-Protoss making it in. So for now, it's going to be 5 Protosses in 1 Zerg, and potentially another Protoss joining tomorrow if SOS can make the gauntlet work in that group. But yeah, SHIN making it through. Great to have him here. He played excellently today.
Yeah, big shout out to SHIN, playing my favorite build. Thank you very much. That was a real treat to see.
At the end of that game, he just goes like, yep, that's for you, Steve. I knew you were watching there, man.
Oh, man, I was loving that. I'm not going to lie. I was loving that. But yeah, he played so many different styles today in unit comps. He was really impressive. He's one to keep an eye on going into the bracket in the playoffs once we get there. Tomorrow, though, is the Terran Hope. Maru and Ryung sitting in Group D will be going up against Reina, our foreign Zerg player, as well as SOS. That is going to be an amazing group, Gemini.
It would be so funny if we just get no Terrans. Like, wouldn't that be the funniest thing ever? We just have just a million Protoss.
It is possible,
no Terrans.
but Maru though, dude.
Yeah, I know.
You got to think he's getting out of this group.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, SOS is as cool as he is, as history as he is, he's gotten so many massive tournaments under his belt. It would be a tall ask, I think, in this day and age for him to make it out of a group that looks like this. Ryung, honestly, could still kind of make it out as well, but, I mean, Raynor is in top form. I feel like every game I've seen of him of late has been very good. Maru is just, he's Maru. Like, what can you expect? It's going to be hard to think anyone other than Maru and Raynor will be making out tomorrow.
Absolutely. Here is the schedule, guys. Today it is Saturday. Tomorrow we have more action, bringing you Group D. We then have a break until Thursday next week when the playoff bracket will begin. And that's when it's for all the marbles. If you lose there, you're out.
You don't want to lose those marbles, man. They're so valuable. Yeah, I got RSL branded marbles.
Do we? We should sell those.
We should. They should put them up on the merch site. Yeah, that could be pretty good.
What is the merch site, Gemini? Just
I'll say it when it comes up. Anyways, the bracket will be a little bit, the schedule will be a bit condensed, as we do have to make some pretty big days over there. We don't have that final week. We thought there was going to be a Chinese tournament happening there, but then it got kind of moved around, and then we had to move ours around, and well, now we're just like this. So whatever, doesn't matter. We're just going to have nice long days, so you guys have so much StarCraft to watch. It's going to be super sick. As well as Archon Studio joining us yet again for another season is also super sick. That's my favorite catchphrase.
Yeah, you've gone back to it now. Yes, everything's super sick.
I'm bringing it back, rolling back the years. Now, Archon Studio, it's so great to have them here. I mean, we've got their first miniature that we've got coming on in as well, which is super sick. The Zeratul one is really cool. Once it's actually made, it's going to look really nice in our studio here. But yeah, it looks great. I'm super excited to see what other kind of miniatures we can get over here as well. And just, big thanks to them for supporting us throughout this entire year of StarCraft.
Yep, and also thank you to you guys for supporting us on the Patreon. Over at patreon.com/revivesc2, you can choose a variety of different tiers, and all of this support goes towards funding the RSL. Thank you guys so much to everyone who's signed up so far. Please check it out. You can vote for maps, you can vote for players. If you're a high enough tier, you can get a free ticket to the offline event. There's a load of different perks over there, so please check it out.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be great. And there's that merch site that we were talking about. So tastelessthreads.com, to answer your question, Surgeon, is where you can go to find all of your merch for RSL and also Tasteless's other stuff. He's got some funny pictures of his face on shirts if you want to walk around town with that. That's always fun. But more importantly, you can get your RSL stuff. So you can walk around with cool RSL swag.
Speaking of swag,
potentially attending our event with it as well.
Yeah, speaking of swag, guys, we have the tickets available. There's a regular ticket for 30 USD and then a premium ticket at 150, which comes with a bunch of extra perks. I think you get access to some of the players, casters, etc. It is going to be December 13th to 14th at the big place in Seoul.
Not the small place.
Not the medium place.
Not the extra large
Not
place.
the mediocre. Not the average room place. This is
place.
big place.
Yes. in Seoul, South Korea, which will be having 2 days of non-stop StarCraft action for you. The first of which is going to be the LCQ, the Last Chance Qualifier. So anyone that did play in the RSL events this year, in the qualifiers or the main event, is free to play in that so long as you can actually attend the event itself. So if you can travel and make it to our studio, we will have you to play in our awesome LCQ bracket. So please sign up for that. We have a link on our Twitter account, and also it's been going around a little bit, so make sure you sign up. It does end, it's until I think the 21st is what it is of our time, so we'll be only up for a certain amount of time. So make sure you do sign up for that, and then the winner of that will then join our other 3 players that will be in the finals already. So yeah, it's going to be super sick. I can't wait for all of you guys to come tune into it. It's going to be fun.
Yep, guys, and we are trying to grow the YouTube here. Please check it out at Revive SC2 on YouTube. This is where you can find your spoiler-free VODs. All the matches that have been played will get uploaded over there, so you can watch them with your meal. I saw some guy posting him watching the VODs with his breakfast, which looked very nice. That was actually a thing I used to do with GSL, like plan my meal times around it. You know what I mean? Like plan my meal time. I'm going to eat at this time and sit down and watch the GSL. So you guys can watch that at your leisure, on your own time, whenever you please, over on the YouTube.
Yep. Thank you guys for tuning in for the RSL today. It's been a wonderful set of games. We're going to have more coming to you tomorrow as well, so please stay tuned for that. Same time, same place. We will see you then. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.